Hello, everyone! Welcome to another Ocarina of Time Randomizer Standard Tournament race, this time between Engel and Drooness. We are still in Winner's Bracket Round 1. Tonight on comms, we have Riley and Yoshi Kion, and they will be starting by going over the stats screen, which you can see before you. And they'll take it from here.
Hello, hi.
Yeah, firstly, hello everybody. Hope everybody's enjoying a nice evening. But yeah, let's go over this matchup statistic screen that ZSR has kindly provided to us.
So, at a quick glance, there's so much I can talk about here, and I guess the obvious thing to start with is they were pretty close in terms of their qualifying.
Yeah, they're both around that middle area where it's like, okay, like both of them could have probably been a lot higher, like a smidge higher than their seeding, or like it's that really middle area where every player is super good. So it's going to be an insanely good match.
It's within variance as well, right? So it's not like, if you see something like top seed versus bottom seed, like that's a huge upset if the lower seed wins. In something like this, it's like, okay, it's reasonable. They're practically at the same point. Tournament history favors Engel slightly, as does the seeding. They've only been in a couple of tournaments together before, and you can see the last tournament matches on here. Like those are from season 5. Engel had an incredible run there. Has showed up in those big tournaments before, a little more than Drew has. But Drew's recent races, kind of show a bit of a steep learning curve recently.
Yeah, but when Drew's on top of his game, you can't beat that guy. Holy hell. But yeah, last year I think Drew wants to rectify a bit of his tournament matches from last year. He went 1-2, whereas Engel went on a nice losers bracket run really early, losing his first round and then winning 4 in a row, and then losing to Mario, which I don't blame anybody to do. But yeah, like you mentioned, like their 11-9 total comparison races, that's pretty close. I know they both kind of tend to forfeit when things don't go their way pretty early in the seed. So, But yeah.
And of course, no direct head-to-heads, which we can look at the 11-9 in the middle there from group races. A lot of those will be forfeits. A lot of those will be...
Yeah, exactly.
Just not taking it super seriously. Head-to-heads are really where you see the real strategies come out, I think. And we haven't seen that between these two. That hasn't happened, so...
Nope. Yeah, I mean, big races, 1v1s, the mental game is different. The way you feel, just the way you approach everything is just like completely different. Some people like the metagame super hard in 1v1s compared to big races, so like you could see some exceptionally different stuff compared to what they usually do.
What do they usually do? I've spoken a little bit to Drew about his kind of play style recently. He said he's changed the way he plays in the last couple of days, which... that feels like a scary thing to do before a tournament match, but...
Well, I guess we'll see, because they've started off, both of them. This is a pretty standard market around start. Both going to farm a bit of money. And then probably proceed to Lon Lon. There's like no other really decent option here.
The Nocturne start is... a nice one for convenience.
Yeah, it saves definitely a bit of the hike that you tend to normally do when you go adult for the first time. So it kind of incentivizes at least a short stint child go adult pretty fast, which I'm assuming one of them will at least do. I know, like I said, I've mentioned before we started this, Engel is a really big fan of doing adult river pretty early, so that's what I'm expecting of him, of his early routing here. So. Right now, just both doing the standard, just doing some chickens, and hopefully Malin gives us a nice song that we can work around with.
Ooh. Nice early FW is always decent one to have access to. Obviously, gonna need the magic for it, but that one can really shake up a lot of the routing throughout. And I don't know if you agree with this one. I feel like good for us wind good for us wind usage is kind of the thing that shows the really top runners. You know, we've seen some incredible players in the past who have really kind of shown how much they can think about the routing in a way that a lot of people just wouldn't have even considered via Furrow's Wind.
Oh yeah, Furrow's Wind can make some like less interesting plays really more interesting, especially early game. Obviously, we need that magic, but like making a play for like a super early GTG when it's not super convenient to do, but because you have the wind, that makes it like almost like a viable play sometimes. And there's little things like that, like rushing fire. Obviously, with KZ's Kingzora skipped ban this season. That's going to ice for just wind stuff is not as good, but yeah. Well, we're seeing a pretty early divergence already with the Engel safe quitting, which I'm assuming is going to go adult, and then Drew playing Nocturne. Oh, I guess Engel likes to farm money for a shield. That's another thing he does. And this is our first hint, I think we see. Domain to Morpha. Which is... I don't know. It's interesting, for sure.
Right, so obviously a hint to Morpha has a decent chance of holding a hookshot within that.
Yeah,
and
I would
early
assume.
Domain is a pretty difficult one to push towards without that hint.
Yeah, it's kind of the awkward one, right? Because do you try to extend your child here to maybe get a scale, maybe a bomb bag, so you could get that domain path super early? It's kind of a hard gamble. I don't mind it, but I feel like this is going to be like a pretty standard like just go adult, get another song, and then work from there. But they did get Saria's, so early Saria's kind of a hard one to work with as well, because sometimes like it puts the adult SFM song in logic where do you walk there? Do you commit to that? It's another toughie.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I guess, staying child, I feel like the hint doesn't really impact it that much, because the reason to go adult here is because you've got the better movement, you've got more checks available. Mm-hmm. The odds of you finding something, as we see the temporal time hints, by the way.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Nice,
yeah,
useless.
That one's not going to be...
It's not useless. It can make finding earlier bows a lot more important. But I mean, that could point towards if we see a path to forest, bow could be way the hero way more often. But yeah, just like I said, Drew just did play Nocturne to get the graveyard hint plus the crate peak, right? He only did that?
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I feel like you can just do that as adult here.
Yeah, does feel like a little bit interesting of an interesting decision, I guess. One thing I know with Drew in particular is he second guesses himself quite a lot, and there's a lot of times where he'll go to do something and be like, why was I here doing this now? I can do this later. And then he'll just stop immediately where he is. Also,
we see our first pedestal check here. We see DC, Deku, Water, Jabu, and Fire. So that means Forest, Shadow, and Spirit are stones, which... yeah, that's a lineup. That's a lineup. That's like the fastest spread possible for medallions, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So... just both going dump it. Yeah, I mean, this, I guess, was why... I mean, starting with Nocturne makes this, like, basically an insta play. Well, not insta, but it makes it very good.
Interesting here, Drew spent a bit of extra time earlier farming rupees on the bridge and grabbed the 20 in the pot there. So won't need much to be able to buy the shield either, whereas Engel grabbed the rupees later to grab this shield.
Yeah, Engel, from what the little I've seen, he tends to grab the shieldless child. Because he's just, I get the sense of it. It's because it auto-equips when you go with adult for the first time, so you don't have to, like, do that extra menuing, and obviously, like, it might be super micro-optimal, but on emulator that saves more time than on PC.
Actually, yeah, no, that's a decent shout.
A small smidge, but it does save some time. Yeah, as pointed out, this is definitely the lowest, maybe not lowest, but very close to being the lowest required amount of items needed for beating a seed.
Yeah, it's also worth noting, I guess, that the odds of it being all dungeons is way lower. Shadow and Spirit as stones?
Yeah, that's gonna lock, like, just the fact that they need a lot of items to be completed is just what's gonna make it cause that to be less likely. Obviously, that always changes depending on how the seed plays out, but for now, nothing unusual. An early slingshot, not uncommon. Child projectiles is nice to have early, and...
Oh my god!
Wow. Well, there's our first item. A nice early hook. But a hook by itself, right now, doesn't really do much. They need something else alongside with it, so... We'll see what the plan is if CAC is still empty. Like I said, I'm expecting Engel, at least Engel, to go Adult River, guaranteed. Mm-hmm. If they get explosives, obviously you go up the mountain, but...
I think the most interesting thing about this early hookshot here is the main path to Morpher.
Right. You were, like... With that early hint, I always would assume that, okay, that's probably my first hookshot. The game's going to give me an early bomb bag or a scale to get that early. Mm-hmm. But now it kind of puts... Okay, that can be irons and long shot, and like it definitely loses a lot of value. Like, do you think, okay, I can just probably wait until I can beat Jabu to get that? Most likely you're going to probably do it when you go child, but if you can, of course. Ooh, that's an interesting hint.
And
yep,
already a bow as well.
A bow as well, yeah.
So we know where our bomb bag is, we know we're going to have a bow, we're going to have a hook shot, we know there's a path to Morpher available, like...
Right.
There's already... For 10 minutes in, this is a lot of information to work with.
Yeah, especially since our path hints are going to tell us basically four guaranteed items. Well, at least... Well, yeah, 4, because unless DC is not... the multiple bomb bags are accessible, you're probably going to get a duplicate hint for at least Jabu and maybe water, but... Yeah, early bow, hook, you start with Saria's. Walking to, like, Adult SFM could be tempting to seed for sure. So this is where I think it's going to be an important split, because you could do Adult River here, but you could also go up the mountain. With that bow now, going to SFM that way is pretty crucial, I think. Especially since neither have done Mido's house either. I think that's definitely the better play at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
whoa,
never mind.
Well, never mind.
I was just about to say, and that split could make a ton of difference, because if one of them has a scale, they get to do the other. Never mind.
I was like, perfectly timed, yeah. You just go through river now. Makes the choice much easier. Which, yeah, exactly, both are doing that, so... But yeah, that skill also puts the domain path in logic, so... When do you... I mean, yeah, it's most likely just long shots, so I don't know, or iron boots, but you don't really put super much value into it at the moment, but...
Yeah, you would just... The next time you go child, you'll make sure to grab that item, I think.
Yeah.
You're not gonna, like, push to go child earlier specifically for it, because it probably won't do much yet.
What's that? Is that K-Sword? No, okay. I thought he was menuing to kill the Octoroks, but... Oop.
Drew with the minus
Mhm.
5 seconds, 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's falling off that ladder. Oh, that's you know where your K sword is most likely. Well, maybe not directly, but at that point you already have your slingshot, so that's got to lead to K sword.
Yeah,
Which,
at least a fairly linear hint most of the time.
So yeah, Rush songs. Song's good. Okay, nice skull mask, hence foolish. Always good to see before you do like an extended child, especially since neither of them have done Child Lost Woods yet. So. And going for the skull. I like it.
Oh,
I mean,
they both are, yeah.
Well, might as well.
Again, one of the things that you see a lot of players very split on is like, how much do you go for early skulls? How much do you just try to get them in dungeons? And how much do you just ignore them?
Yeah, and there's definitely like a playstyle for all three where there's definitely an advantage to pushing skulls right away because a lot of people I think tend to be like pretty middle about it where they don't go super out of the way to get like slower skulls, but definitely those skull checks can make a huge swing in 1v1s.
Right, and at the same time, like, the time it takes to get them can add up. If you go out of your way to get a bunch of skulls,
I mean,
you're
skulls
only
are
doing that for a couple of checks.
Skulls I think are inherently probably the worst checks in the game. But speaking of, we have two nice chests here that we're gonna see a bottle, and then we're gonna see Lunaries. That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. I'm grabbing these small chests, just looking for bomb chews, looking for
explosives,
even some extra
anything.
health.
Fire is required.
Earlier went out of his way for a heart container, so
yeah, fire is required. So I think you just try to get as much health as you can. Five is usually
this way up here.
Yeah, what Drew did. Yeah.
That's incredible. I've never seen that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense, but yeah.
Maybe hookshotting up is faster. I'm not sure, but without a hookshot, definitely. It just doesn't come up often where you're there as adult early with a hookshot, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Makes sense.
We got a nice, faster Mido skip. Engel struggling a little bit with it, but eventually getting it for sure.
Be interesting to see where this seed offers an early split. Right now, it's kind of...
Yeah, they've both done basically the same thing outside of the one little minute detail.
Yeah. There hasn't been much opportunity for them to split at this stage.
I don't think so either. Ooh. Stone Shadow. Very interesting.
No.
Cactivol. Cactiv KD.
The King Dodongo, yeah, that's huge. The first bomb bag, obviously, that's something you're pretty desperately looking for in your early game.
Yeah, with that hook and bow there. Well, the scale as well. I think actually the scale now makes it even better that you probably want to go do Domain. Domain could be your bomb bag now, I think. Pretty likely.
Yeah, not unreasonable.
Yeah, Forest is another good shout as well. But if that is the scaling cac to get the bomb bag, I feel like that's another pretty decent one. We'll see how far they go in Forest. I mean, they can only go so far, I guess. But
right. I was going to say, you kind of don't mind dipping into Forest here as well, because
it's
you're probably not going to come back with strength.
No. You're probably just doing the courtyard and then leaving. Even if you get the strength early here, I think you just leave.
And so it just almost feels like a safe play to make. Just go in, do the first handful of checks, leave.
The game gave you a lot of stuff to do the early Forest part here, so sometimes you just gotta go with what the seed gives you, even if it's not necessarily a great play on paper. There's nothing really indicating that Stone Forest will have anything here, but on a okay, the game's giving me a hookshot, a bow, and Saria's really early, all sphere 0. Yeah, I'm gonna go take a chance on Forest every time here.
And yeah, outside of like child Kakariko, this is probably the fastest, like, set of skulls.
Yeah. I mean, now I think it could be incentivized, especially with Nocturne, with Prelude. You could just set nighttime Dampe, do Dampe and child night cack skulls, but depends how aggressive you want to be with skulls, right? I feel like with that cack KD, maybe? Like, do you think it's hook bow? Or do you just think, okay, there could still be a bomb bag there? Like, I think that's a pretty interesting hint at this point for KD, especially, since usually it's just strictly the bomb bag.
Yeah, and obviously, like, there's a lot of situations like this where the answer is, well, you kind of keep both of them in mind and play around a bit of both. But, this is the play around a bit of both, right? You get the skulls here in case it's in Kakariko still, but also you're following the hook shot that you got in Kakariko.
Yeah, and with, like I said, with the bomb bag hitting on Bigoron, it's very, very unlikely that that's that one. And then there's a bow hinted on Shoot the Sun, so you could think, okay, the bow could potentially be realistically be Way the Hero as well. And that bow right now is just giving you a scale, which leads me back to think that it's not unlikely bomb bags in Domain either. So just because of that, I think they're both just gonna like finish Forest Courtyard and then just go Child. Or they'll play Bolero first, I guess. But that's about it. Maybe do a little bit of Goron City. But that's about it.
Yeah, it is interesting that as much as the hook shot and the bow, obviously you almost, like, you always need them, you always...
Yeah, you always want them, yeah.
Right, they're some of the best items in the game. Getting them this early, they kind of don't do anything.
They rely on a lot of other stuff to make them more useful. Bow in general is kind of doesn't do much, but it unlocks a lot of one little one-off area, and yeah, there's ZL. You probably just like push your songs a lot harder right now because of that well to Goma as well. You're probably going to try to route that. You're going to try to get your storms and route that in with Child Cack, I would assume. So. But Drew dipping fire here. Interesting.
That's kind of spicy.
Yeah. I don't know if there's. We have the shadow path to Volve, so like getting an item for like shadow in here would be insanely good. But other than that, yeah, can't really be much. It's safe, but it's still pretty slow. Now he has a key. Yeah, he kind of has to go. But now he's doing the one check.
Oh, yeah. This feels... The issue being that, you know, you're coming back here later anyway. Doing this walk multiple times, it's just... the vast majority of the time, this is just extra movement that you're doing over your opponent.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it as well. I mean, obviously, like, walking over here and like, doing the chest next to Volve is not going to happen super often, but... Drew's just going to... I mean, warping out of here is fine. But yeah, see, Engel's doing the extra little Goron City here that I mentioned that could be possible, peeking all these 3 chests, which are all small, I think. I didn't see anything super big. But yeah, also thank you, Zet Wilder, for the party rate of 38. Thank you, and everybody, welcome to ZSR. This is Drooness versus Engel. We have a winner's bracket round 1 match between 2 great players. So hope you can stay and enjoy the match.
Yeah, not a huge amount to say so far, other than they've kind of been handed a lot of items and don't have a lot to do with them.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have hints to follow at the moment that are like not like directly telling you what to do, but we'll see. Drew's definitely getting. Oh, he's wanting to talk to Bigoron a little bit as well, but. And here, yeah, another Royal Tomb. He's pushing skulls pretty hard, I think. That's why he came here. So he's going for 20 pretty hard, maybe?
It's only 7 so far.
He's gonna get 8 here. 20 is hinted dead, that's correct. Yeah, that's right. That's a pretty important hint. So he's just pushing 10?
Get the 10, get it out of the way, and then not have... That's surprisingly aggressive, but...
Yeah. Is there a way you can get to 10 before? No. I mean, he could have probably with playing Prelude and Nocturne again here to go like OGC plus CAC, but you don't really care to get 10 unless it's exactly the bomb bag.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I said, you know, I've talked to Drew a little bit about his playstyle stuff, and he said that he's kind of changed the way he's played over the last few days. He did a handful of races where he did well, but he was like, I'd always lose by a minute or two because somebody else would do the same thing but a little more aggressively. And so now I think he's playing more aggressively, which, when it works, is incredibly good, way faster. Personally, I think aggressive play is generally better, but when it backfires, like, you just lose. Like,
Engel's
it just
also
cost you an entire race.
Engel's also a pretty aggressive player from what I know about him. So, yeah, and then Drew's making the first commit to Child again. I also agree, I think, just like doing this graveyard song and such. Oh no, he's just pushing 10 skulls, yeah.
Yeah, going outside Ganon's for that 10th skull.
Oof.
That's
I don't know how to feel, yeah, because I feel like... I probably would just like pair it with chickens or like the well or... But he's just doing Dambe and...
Just the time of day.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fine.
That makes sense, yeah.
I mean, you're getting Suns in graveyards, kind of be like, ugh. But, I mean, it's going to be nice for him to be able to do chickens as well, which I think he'll end up doing. Hey, but I could be wrong. There's still a lot of stuff they have to do as Child, including going to Cave Forest. And SFM, I should say, mostly. But yeah, I agree. Playing like super aggressive early is kind of like it's kind of more often than you're gonna have to like double track on your steps like way too often, and that's like the kind of thing like with the fire dip as well. Like you're just gonna retrace your steps again, most likely, which is just on average is time loss.
It's something I was going to comment on with the bow earlier. Like that's where the bow really comes into things. It's not so much that it opens checks, but having an early bow means less backtracking because it means that you can actually do the checks while you go there.
Yep. You're setting that time of day doing Dampe now. Yep. And is Engel just getting the skull back here, I guess he is, and probably getting the hint too?
Yeah. Oh.
Is it gonna put it daytime here? I think so. He's just gonna wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh.
That could be a great hint for its letter.
But that is all of our path hints, at least.
Yeah, that's our last path hint. We have one for every dungeon that's in the seed. But 2, I feel like at this point, 2 are likely to be just for the bomb bag. Maybe. We'll see.
There's still a decent chance the Zora's Domain one wouldn't be, but I think that's the most likely one for it, if any. Obviously the Kakariko one has to be King Dodongo.
Yeah.
The Market one is the one that interests me right now, but mostly because there's a lot of checks locked by a lot of different things.
I mean, what? They really only have 2 bowling plus lens game now. Well, no, they haven't done Sing game. No, they both did Sing game, right? Yeah.
And Big Pose as well.
Right, Big Pose, yeah. Which ooh, okay. Not nice. Drew, you have a hint for this. You got both hints for this, Drew.
Well, autopilot
Yep.
is.
Definitely. I've done this before too, so.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I still remember causing an argument in a restream chat once by doing something like this.
Yeah, now we have 2 bottles, so that's nice, I guess. I'm assuming Engel is here to get his 10 skull as well. I think he's at 6, 7, or 8 as well. Oh, no, he's at 10.
So both only getting 1 skull in Child Kakariko is
Yeah.
not really how you want things to shake out, but...
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what other skulls he could have skipped that weren't as easy. I mean, the DMT one, I guess, but...
Yeah, some of the ones in Forest, maybe, but even then, those are so quick that...
Yeah.
Like, what's that worth?
Drew's opting to get this. Is he going to get more than 10?
I guess that honestly isn't a bad shout, given no 30, no 50 hint yet.
Yeah, but that's still not like a super common play. I feel like most players are just going to like assume it's dead. I feel like, okay, if you don't have a hint, I'm not playing for them until they're hinted.
I think that those ones there are so quick that you might as well get them, and just, you're at 11. Like, you're not really going out of the way for it still, but it's enough that if you then get the hint, you're happy you got it, because it's so costly to get back here later.
Yeah, I mean, just the skull houses. Like I mentioned earlier, skulls are inherently, I think, just the worst checks in the game, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, chickens just make sense. You gotta play towards your path to Katie when it's still unfulfilled.
Oh. Wow!
Oh, wow. Cack is spicy.
So the bomb bag could be anywhere with this, pretty much. It has to be locked by bow, hookshot, scale, or strength.
Strength blocks a lot of things, so.
Damn, I can't believe the bomb bag is locked by half the things in the game.
I mean, it's always good. I think, like I said, I think the next logical play here is to probably just go Child, SFM, get your song. If it's not Storms, then you probably just try to reconsider your options and see and work from there. Which is probably going to be, okay, do Domain, do whatever else. At this point, there's not many songs they have. Maybe Requiem for Child Spirit, but even then, that's kind of like, eh. Yeah, if they have to go back to Forest now, that'd be the...
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. But if it is Forest at this point, if they have so little that they're going to get bottlenecked into going to Forest fairly fast again.
Mm. And if Forest is the bomb bag specifically, then someone opening like a set of Choose somewhere could be the difference in this race.
Yeah, Choose are good. But so far, nothing. Which, I don't know if it's... as a player, I don't know if it's good or not in a 1v1 like this to not see any Choose. If you've opened every small chest, you're always thinking, oh, what if my opponent just doesn't open any small chests? Like, that's always a thought that can cross your mind for sure. I feel like just coming Child Goron City, just doing the Arunia, like, I mean, obviously they're passing by, so it makes sense, but oof.
And like, obviously you know this from the tournament side of things as well, but like, I don't think you can get hung up on the, oh, what if my opponent just gets to skip all of these and they save so much time? Because then if you don't open them, you're spending the whole time thinking like, what if my opponent opened like the first one of these, got bomb Choose, and I just don't have to even, like, I'm just so far behind. Are we
Engel?
Oh no.
He's going for the... It's fine to just open the pot, but yeah, he's just trying it once and then he's failing. Yeah,
okay.
That's fine. I just will Drew go for it. I think he will. Yep.
Oh god.
Yes, it has to be a spot play.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's just winning it. He's not even like timing it or anything. He's just like
Not looking, doesn't...
I think it's gonna be good.
Are you...
Is it good?
I think that's good. Is it timed? I think there's a specific set of timing from when you leave.
No, it's a bit too early, I think.
Yeah,
it's tad early. I thought so too.
There is a setup that leaving Darunia's room where you do like exact numbers of rolls up the stairs.
I mean,
so I thought that might have been what he was going for there.
But they just didn't want to spend too much time on it, so it makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Also, Engel's is going straight to SFM before doing Lost Witch, which... Oh, well, I guess Drew was just doing targets. Even... Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking, like, you get storms or storms here, you can just, like, go down and then get your Kakiri Storm's Grotto again. But, yeah, well...
Fair enough, yeah.
I guess they're just going to both play Nocturne again and go back to CAC. But yeah, I mean, they're going to probably do Lost Woods and K-Sword Chest and then warp out of K-Sword Chest is my guess. That seems likely.
So many items? It does kind of feel like there's only one real path in the seed so far.
Yeah, I mean, there could be an argument to try to do Domain before going to the well here, since you're next to River. Which, yeah, I think it's probably the play, right? You just do Lost Woods. You go to K-Sword Chest, you probably play your Sun Song to get your warp out, and then you go back to River to Domain, and then warp out, but I'm not sure.
I think Lost Woods through... Yeah, Lost Woods to River to Domain, play Nocturne, bottom of the well, like, that'll...
You could do Lake if you wanted as well.
Yeah, dip through into Lake and then...
Get Scarecrow. It's just... Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different options. You could also just play Nocturne and go straight to the well. That's fine. Oh, we have Kakiri Sword Big... Yeah, that's standard when you do Adult Mitos, but
okay, never mind.
That's not... This fashion. Yeah, it seems like Engel is definitely, with that Sun, just kind of makes me think he's going straight to River Domain here. Unless he's not... did he? No, he didn't finish Lost Woods, did he, earlier? Yeah, that's also the case. That works. Yeah. I think Drew also didn't finish Lost Woods, so they're probably both doing display.
Yeah, I just don't really see much of an alternative. The big thing here would be if you skip any of the checks, and this early in a seed and missing bombs,
yeah,
I don't think you can justify skipping something like this.
It's pretty hard to try to metagame already or try to be a little aggro. They have a lot of items, like a hook, strength, bow, scale. Like, that's a lot of good items, but it's already, like, 35 minutes in. They're like, okay, we need explosives. Like, this seed wants you to have explosives.
And obviously, like, even if it's not in Domain itself, you still want to go towards River, because... You can do Frogs 1 now. That's
when do you rep Frogs 1? Like, I guess you do it now.
Yeah,
like,
so I think
before Domain, like. Oof.
The difficult part is that you want to go through Domain, and then do things on either side. You want to get both Lake Hylia and Zora's River, and you can't Sun Song to walk back to the start of either of those.
Yeah, so you probably just want to do Frogs 1 and then reclimb. If you're doing it. I mean, I could see one of them skipping it. That could be like the first big skip, but it's hard to do it. Yeah, again, there's missing so much, and I mean, it can't be Bomb Bag, I think, directly, but it could. I mean, no, it could be because of the scale, I guess. Scale to do Frogs 1, right? So you kind of have to do it.
And that's exactly it. Both Lake and River are a scale-locked check that could be the Bomb Bag.
But
so
Engel is not doing Frogs 1. Nah, yet. You could do it after.
Oh, and Drew!
Drew's just saying...
It's gone!
Bye, River. Nope.
Okay.
standard Drew play, to be honest. But yeah, Engel could do it after, but if you're committing to doing it after, you're just kind of walking on yourself more. So he's either doing Frogs 1 or he's doing Lake here. So we'll see the divergence.
Yeah. Like, there's a world where you do both, right? In the order that Engel is doing them, I think. Where you
It's
go
less
in
efficient,
here...
though. I think you do Frogs 1 first before.
Walking upriver, if your plan in Lake is you do fishing, you do the diving item, and then you go back into domain, that's not much different just walking up the entirety of river.
There's still, like, that's still an extra... yes, two extra loading zones.
Slow, but
oh, I mean, Frogs 1
yeah.
is just kind of doo-doo here. But domain, yeah. I mean, also, they have that blue fire bottle, so if it's not child domain here...
Right in, yeah.
Are you tempted to go adult and do KZ? I mean, it's unlikely. I think at this point it's probably just a child item here. I don't even know why I'm talking about that. But, you know.
But if...
If, yeah. Possibilities are endless. Yeah, that's my first guess. First bomb bag is just here. It's Path to Morpho as well. It would like, fit in both. It would complement both path hints pretty well.
I'm not gonna lie. A bomb bag is a pretty disappointing item to get on a Path to Morpho if it is that.
It fulfills both path, which kind of makes one of the hints pretty useless.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, it sucks.
Especially with just like how many seeds come down to, okay, I just need to find the long shot again.
Yeah, likely. Alright, so we have, yep, nice. And... yeah, there you go.
Right, thank you. So scale to bombs.
And just bomb bag in the domain Path to Morpho, so... Woo. Oh, was that Din's? Wait.
Was it?
Maybe I'm blind.
Not. Yeah.
I don't know. It looked like Din's quickly to me. But I'm also... I mean, if it's choose, you still want them, I think, this early.
Yeah.
Choose are just faster explosives.
Right.
You're going to save time overall just picking them up, even if it's a 5-pack.
Yeah, if people... I know this is like a point of contention where people are like, I already have bombs, I don't need bomb chews. If you really want to know how good bomb chews are in every situation, go through the Goron maze checks with bombs versus bomb chews.
Bomb chew. I mean, Drew was talking about the other day, he finally learned Vol with choose, the fast rat. That saves literally a whole cycle.
Yeah.
So... very interesting. Alright, Drew getting his bomb bag. I feel like the seed is just kind of like unfolding itself to be super linear in a way, because they're just both going to do the well here, and then they're probably both going to do Deku, and then they're probably both going to go adult and do DC.
Yeah.
Unless Engel's just going adult, but I feel like with Storms and Path to Goma. Oh, he's doing... oh, yeah, he's doing... that's fine, I guess. But your save warp is there, so you... I mean, with Prelude... yeah.
You gotta get this, yeah.
Yeah, this is fine. But it's probably just Sprang or Letter. If it's not here, then it could be... I think it's more interesting if it's not here, but... Drew also just breaking his neck, but...
Casual?
Yeah, just casually. So, yeah. Oh, it's not. Wow, so it's the lens game or big pose. Ooh. I mean, they have bow and bottle. You probably just do big pose on foot, right?
I guess, yeah.
Would you rather try to gamble on lens and magic? Yeah, they did Richard.
I think at the very least, I would wait until you find the other Baronade item.
Maybe, but later could be huge. But I guess without Epona, that could be
Yeah.
like your last item you get logically. So if it's just Boomerang, you don't really care.
Yeah, I think I would wait to see the other item first, and then at that point, yeah, sure, it opens the dungeon. You can do it.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Okay, yeah, I would do Big Pose on foot about now.
Wow. Amazing. That's like everything is just timed to perfection. I don't know what else to say. We're gonna have Drew do the same thing. Hopefully he'll do Hyrule Castle Fair with Chew Bowling in his child stint here. I mean, it just makes sense to... Boomerang was on Hyrule Castle Fairy Reward. Yeah, and the market is the path to Barony that we have the seed, so...
I do think that's a very easy check to skip as well, so...
Castle Fairy? Yeah, I tend to skip it because I just don't want to walk there. Engel already did Castle Fair. He already did the skull and checked the Gossip Stone.
Yeah,
so I think
true.
he had less reason to go check it, but he still did because it's... I mean, warping out... If you can warp out of it, that's your optimal play. Like... If he wasn't doing it with Bumshoe Bowling, he's probably never doing it. We'll see our first instant of the well, which, I mean... If it's not K-Sword, it's going to be other items that are going to lead you to K-Sword. Which can't be too much at the moment already. Your Shadow Kit, which you need anyways. And they can full clear, and the first chest is big, so... Well, the first chest, the underwater one, I should say. Oh. Okay, so that's 2 keys. Let's see... You probably just grab that last small key on your way to the bottom.
Yeah. There's not really much reason to go out of the way for the keys a lot of the time, just because you're likely to, like, because there are 3 and because you'll only want 1, you can just grab one whenever it's convenient to on the way towards the final one.
Yep. But now
Almost
already
like
2.
this. Oh.
Yeah, there's your last key.
Well, seen where they all are, so now you can decide which one is the best one to get.
I mean, you get the one on the way to the basement. Oh.
Okay. So, Gerudo area, I guess?
Maybe? I mean, it could still be K-Sword right here. Engel's about to get.
True.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
But, yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't want to assume until we see the specific item, but yeah. Long shot, I mean, you need long shot, so you're not going to complain even if it's path.
Right, yeah. And, like, that's still a lot of information. The long shot doesn't exactly lock much.
No, so that puts probably... I mean, now that you mention it, I think it's probably... If we don't see K-Sword, it will be likely, because if Epona's behind Forest Med Deku, which is not really pretty... I think I mean, it's what, 50-50 at this point? Almost? Yeah?
Yeah?
I mean, we still don't have the OT hint, nor the Burning Cat hint, but...
Yeah, so it's 40% on current information, but that can easily change.
2, okay. And Drew got the 1 cycle, nice. Engel did get a 2 cycle, which is still pretty good, but you can tell he caught up just because of that, so... And, ooh! Oh? He's close. Wow.
Oh my god!
Sync.
Simultaneous!
That's the second bow, okay. Which doesn't mean anything.
Put shields in sync!
Amazing. No, that's not bow locked. So, I mean, the bow and cack didn't mean anything because the scale already fulfills the bomb bag, but... Yeah, that's kind of funny. Grab your key. Yeah. Yeah, but Drew's not done bomb shoot bowling yet, so hopefully he can do that when he goes.
Right. And for what it's worth, like,
Oh.
it's very easy to talk about, oh, this person's ahead, this person behind. They're not. Neither of them will be. This isn't enough to be a difference. Oh my god, this is...
Well, we have Auror's Wind active now, so you just rushed. I think you just go GTG after DC. But
losing a shield there is...
yeah, that's pretty pricey and cost. That's actually like... That's like underrated. What you mentioned there is actually underratedly a lot big time loss. Because now he's going to either have to just find one randomly luckily in a small chest, which could happen, or he's going to have to like buy another one.
Right. Doesn't have the rupees right now. Oh, Drew going...
Drew, yeah, not doing...
Interesting.
Not even doing bomb shoot bowling. Which, probably... Is it a mistake? I don't know.
I don't think so. It's... So because
I mean,
it's to
Path to
Baronade
yeah.
specifically,
Yeah.
you do it first thing on your next child segment, and then you might
Right.
be able to do lens game with it.
Yeah, that's fair.
The problem is, in Drew's situation, we know that if he can do lens game with it, that's a bad thing, because then he won't go to Castle
Soul
Fairy.
Fairy. Oh, for sure. But yeah, Engel is going to just do big pose on foot.
Advantage is definitely on Engel's side right now because of that boomerang, but it's still easily within the kind of realm where it can change at a moment's notice.
Yeah, now with Goron Tunic and Bomb Bag, you just skip over small chest. I'm still surprised they both skip the choose in Lake. Oh, okay, there's our first OT hint. Minuets. Pretty useless song. I mean, it sucks because I love Minuet. But and Drew's going for this hint as well. Okay. Oh,
The nice reminder, just in case.
Yeah. I didn't pay attention to what Engel's hint was, but it was the other loop. Okay. Okay. Wait, Drew's just going to DC. Engel's doing... No, he's not. Yeah, he's doing...
Bruder area? Going over
He's
there?
probably going to... I mean, which Poe is he going...
On the way and
I'm just surprised he's not going for the Poe next to Market.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised, but...
I mean, he equipped the bow and he emptied the bottle, so, like, he's thinking Poes. But is he going to go for another one? He thinks... I could not tell what that was.
Not a clue. Oh yeah, it goes up towards the Lon Poe here.
Maybe he just finds this one easier, but it's
a very easy one to manipulate the appearance on, but it's a really bad one to actually get the big Poe because there's a pretty reasonable chance it just runs into the wall of Lon and...
Yeah, that's what I don't like. It's just like, I mean, it's all based on your positioning, so if you're positioning, so like you're more angled to the left, the Poe is going to run to the left. But I guess you can do what he's doing, where you cancel the... You can make the small Poe disappear a lot faster by just making it slam to the wall. Also, yeah, we got our Burning Catkin, Requiem, another... Now I think you cross even more to get the Colossus song, which could also be Epona at this point.
I think it's pretty high odds at this stage that Epona is locked by...
I think it has to be, right? Unless it's an ice. But at that point, I think it might be as well.
Just the fact that the long shot in the bottom of the well was the only thing that really pointed at anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, because of that, I think it's pretty likely that that's the case, because otherwise long shot doesn't really do much for you. Otherwise, and crossing is a big part of the seed at the moment. Okay. Just a double. I think big pose is probably more likely. Like, honestly, this could be K-Sword. Big pose. Long shot is just to get across. You've got
Yeah.
magic.
Oh
No,
my.
it is Lens game. Oh, that's. Drew's gonna get Lens right here. No. Right. But yeah, that. I just tend to think that going for 1 in 32 is bad.
Oh, 100%. I agree. But
You could try it once since your spawn is next to it, but even then, that's just yucky.
I think the big thing there is like saying with Drew potentially going for Lens game and skipping out on the Castle Fairy. Lens game having something doesn't make that better because Engel knows that Lens game has something, whereas Drew still has no incentive to go to Castle Fairy specifically.
Yeah, that's gonna bite him because usually when you do Lens game, doing both Lens game and Castle Fairy really sucks. Like it just makes it even worse. I mean, you're probably right, Fox. Lens is probably in GTG, but yeah, we shall see though. Drew's still getting skulls, even this one, which I don't know if it's
Surprising? I mean, I think this is why Drew was going so far out of the way for the hints, right? Wants to make sure
Maybe.
those skulls. The sooner he writes off skulls, the sooner he doesn't have to worry about this kind of thing.
yeah, but I don't know. From I mean, personally, like I said, it was just another personal angle. Yeah, I just feel like I don't stress myself with skulls if I don't have the hints. Like I said, I just mentally have them just not be required. It's
And
very often that they're not required. Like,
I think the thing that surprises me here as well is like I was saying, they were talking about playing more aggressively recently, and it's like doing
is
skulls is not aggressive.
oh, that's a big chest in DC. Let's go. Oh, okay,
Oh
well,
my god! You can't miss it. It's right
nope,
there.
you can't miss the
Oh
lens.
no!
Oh boy.
Incredible.
Do you just go child?
I
I mean, for Engel, yes, but this is where Drew's
right.
not going to go right away.
Drew, there's a problem here. Yeah.
He might go Drew will go. I think Drew will go GTG first. Yeah, but we have to remind ourselves that we still need Dins and most likely hovers as well for that hammer that is lingering in fire. At that point, that's another thing that Engel saved over Drew. Is just unless fire has one of those two items, but it's very unlikely.
I mean, so there is a world, and I was thinking this earlier, but the odds of it happening are so low, where early Shadow has hover boots, and it's logically required for fire.
Yeah, could, but it's unlikely again.
And if that happens, being thorough will be the winning play, 100%. Because going in with the hammer would then dodge the rest of Shadow, but
the fact
yeah.
that Shadow itself, yeah, makes it pretty unlikely it's hovers and just a hammer. Yeah, now I think Drew has a decision to make here, which I think he's just going to go GTG and chase the long shot, but I could be steered away or proven wrong. Yeah, I think now Din's Fairy is going to be extremely hard for Drew.
Yeah, Hyrule Castle, the one saving grace I think Drew has here is that they've been going very aggressively towards the hints.
They
And
might
so-
go, yeah.
Going child, he might value that hint enough to do both checks.
Yeah, I think he... It's tough. Again, like
I don't think they got the skull there either, right?
No, they didn't. They didn't touch Hyrule Castle.
Just haven't gone in at all. Yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see. Honestly, it's a tough. I think overall though, it's a tough call to make to want to walk out of Lens game.
I say this as somebody who's friends with Drew, but also as somebody who just wants to see an interesting race. I hope he does do it, because otherwise this is going to be incredibly one-sided. But there's enough reason for him to go and do it at this point, I think.
But I agree with Sponge though. I think you just do it first, probably, if you end up doing it, because you'll probably want to hopefully play Suns there as well, and then like play your Suns into Lens game.
Yeah, I could see doing two bowling and then going through, get caught by the guard.
You're getting bombs. That's all. A bomb refill, honestly, that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
As far as small chests go, that's one of the better ones right now.
I'm surprised he's still opening small chests. I'm assuming he just did it because it was either wanting money. He's looking for a shield.
Yeah, okay.
Already pretty low on items we need, especially with that long shot path. That's a lot of guidance we have at the moment. Oh,
Right.
he's definitely going GTG, I think.
Even assuming that just leads to directly to Kikiri Sword, nothing else.
Crossing's in Logic 2 now with long shot. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Because K-Sword can easily be in Spirit now. Well, not easily, but he can.
Right. But then after that, we're looking at... So we know the letter has to be on Lens game.
Doesn't have to be.
Well,
likely.
okay.
Likely.
Letter has to
Be behind. Whatever
be
is
locked behind Lens game, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we know that a path to evolve is in Shadow, which is probably the hammer. And we know that the Kikiri Sword has to be locked behind the long shot somehow. And is that it? Is that actually just... They need access to water.
Which they already have half a scale, so that's 2 items now that
Yeah.
could decide it. I mean, this
So we're
obviously
looking for the
this.
shadow items, water access, and follow your hints at this point.
Yeah,
At
that's a
least
good.
from Engel's side.
That's a good point to bring up that I didn't really talk about. But yeah, K-Sword could just actually be behind the magic as well in the well.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
But I think everything is kind of pointing you towards doing GTG. So with the 4 Rise win, I mean GTG is just going to be a good play anyways here. I think out of anything else.
I will say, as much as I know it could also be behind the Goron tunic, I'm not considering Deep Fire a play. Ever. That's not a thing.
Nah, I don't think it is. What I will say though is that the magic could be for Lens game, for Letter, for just K-Sword and Jabu as well, which Engel could chase honestly here first. I could see that being a reasonable play for him to do, just because if he's thinking about it, or if he's written down that magic could be path for that as well. You're just pushing progression that could lead to more progression at this point, which is very strong. Which I think at this point is like if you're going for the best routes, and you're not losing a lot of time, I think, because you're gonna have to do that child stint anyways, right? It's just, are you banking on trying to get K-Sword before that, or are you not, right? That's the only time loss you get there. Yep.
And it's always kind of... I feel like things like that are always difficult, because if you go child... Let's say you push towards the Kikiri Sword and then you go child after that. Do you then want to clear child?
I mean, you're just tempted to rush Deku.
You can do everything, so do you just do everything? And at that point you end up doing some pretty slow, out-the-way checks, because you're trying to clear out pretty much everything there is to do.
Yeah. Drew's doing Adult Lake here, which This is another, like, pretty slow, I think.
Yeah, this feels a little...
Probably just setting, I mean, sending Scarecrow for the one, I mean, you're right here, I guess. If you're doing Lake, you're doing that. But I could see a world where you just do Lake after GTG for doing it. You could place your wind in GTG and then jump down.
Jump down.
You have...
You can always teleport back up if you need to go back to the area, yeah.
You do have long shot for Scarecrow, for Fortress, so you don't need Scarecrow, yeah.
I'm seeing the lens game bets coming in.
Yep.
I'm on my usual
Team right.
LLRRL London Ranch Ruto's letter every time.
Team right, full send it. Dang it. Oh, did Drew not have enough money for fishing?
Oh, I guess not, yeah. After buying the shield. Majakin,
Right.
seriously? Hold on, sorry. Majakin rolled the seed, right?
Yes.
Also called the lens game correctly.
Nice.
Damn,
Right.
I can't believe you cheat like this. I called. Holy shit. Okay.
That's a big... So Shadows is loaded. Holy crap.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, you only need like 2 items then at this point. So... Wow. 1 item? 1 item.
Yeah, I mean, you just dip Shadow.
Yeah, maybe
And
not
hope.
even.
Because I think that's what Engels is doing, right? He's got Dins, now you can't do anything in Child.
Yeah, just straight back again.
Yep. Yeah, Wasteland chest could be huge for sure, but I think Shadow just being hinted to Volve, like, that just does open up so many possibilities. Like, I feel like, I mean, the seed is kind of like, almost like, here, take one item at a time and then just get the other item with the item, right? You're gonna go to Shadow, you're gonna get Hammer, and then you're gonna go in Fire, you're gonna get, like, your letter or something, and then, like...
I think, yeah, like, it's interesting because at this point we're like, you know, oh, it was Dins to go to Baronade, and we've got Shadow to Volve, and Bottom of the Well could be Magic, so all of this could just be in Shadow, and then it's like, okay, so you probably need the Hover Boots.
I mean, at this
At
point,
which point,
I think...
right, at which point the whole thing still just comes down to, it's a 1 item hunt, we're an hour in, and it's just, okay, find your last item, could be anywhere.
Which seemingly at this point is probably a Scalar Irons. That's going to be...
Yeah, yeah. And there's also still just a few extra quirks in there. We don't know that these things are necessarily in Shadow. The Kokiri Sword could still be the Gerudo area, the Wasteland Spirit, so on.
Yeah, it could be Spirit Key Logic, but with it being a stone, I think you just assume otherwise until proven wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Shadows is Path of Wolf, so you know there's something here.
Yeah, there is a minimum of 1. Very likely 2 with the Dins.
Yeah.
And then
maybe 3. Could be 3.
And then maybe a 3rd with the Magic, but
it could just be...
shot, throw some ambiguity into that one.
Could be a chain as well. Could just be 1 item that leads to 2.
Right, yeah. Just
we'll get there when we get there.
Jabu.
Yeah, K-Sword and Jabu. At the moment, they could all
Or
point
an
to the
ice
same
at this
thing.
point.
Yeah,
I mean,
they could all
it's the
point to the same
letter
thing.
specifically that's locked here, so...
You could get K-Sword early here. Oh my god.
Oh! Let's do it! Come on, Vanilla!
Holy shit. I mean, you just go deeper Shadow here because with how much stuff.
So is that the path to evolve?
Could. It could. We don't know yet. But you definitely do deeper shadow with the Din's path to letter, with
Yeah,
magic
no,
potentially
100%.
being path to K-Sword.
You have to do this anyway to get your letter, like almost every time. That's so funny though. And I mentioned this earlier. I said that was an option, and if that's the case, do you stop if you find the letter? What
Depends where-
happens
how-
if we're watching Drew go through the Gerudo training grounds and he just opens up the hammer?
That'd be amazing. I think it's still unlikely.
Yeah, I agree.
On average, your hover boots don't lock. But,
Yeah, so,
I mean, it can.
just to explain now, once it came up in chat, Volvadia can lock enough of the keys behind itself that you can't get to the top of fire, at which point you can't hit the pillar down and you have to hover over to the boss door instead. Logically, there are ways to skip them.
You could also just be boss key locked early and have to hover to the boss door.
Yeah.
Engel just wanting some hugs. Very fun. We all love it. Smile. For Drew's sake, let's hope he finds K-Sword in here.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
Engel's just chaining item into item into item into item, which is obviously in his favor.
Yeah, definitely, again, it's too early to really call it, but definitely running away with the advantage right now.
Because Drew's just, yeah, I mean, Drew's making a correct, I think not a terrible, like a pretty average assumption of, yeah, a market is just boomerang or letter. I don't really need them right now.
Doesn't do anything yet. You can ignore it for a while. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I would be doing pretty much exactly what Drew is doing in this situation, and I'd have been punished in all the same ways.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly what Alfalfa is saying. There is a trick where if you, like, I think if you, like, roll off of a specific frame, Link gets more height off of his jump, and you can grab the ledge on the side without needing hover boots.
Yeah, either that or pushing into the wall slightly.
You're getting a lot of keys. You also have to consider that there could be something Song of Time locked over here. I didn't see what was the freestanding item, but
We don't know where Song of Time is yet, but...
it's an ice or at Requiem.
Or...
Behind
prayer
Deku.
check? Yeah.
Yeah. Which at this point, yeah.
It could be. It's pretty reasonable, honestly, for... At that point, then... Song of Time is also locked by...
Sorry, last chest in GTG's
Oh,
big.
center? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Small. Oh, I didn't see.
I think small? Yeah. It's just the center? I didn't see how many keys there were on the way, but I think I only saw one. Might have been a second. Which means
Engel?
a lot of keys around the outside.
I mean, you could also not even get it because no strength 2.
Right.
Like, if Engel gets strength 2 in Shadow here,
Oh, yeah, that would be huge.
because that's possible as well. Like, there's still a lot of possibilities that can happen.
Yeah, it's kind of wild that we're talking about how linear this seed is, and like, here are the handful of options remaining. We're an hour in, and like half the game is untouched. There's still a lot that could happen. There are some that are far more likely at this point, and that's what we're talking about.
I mean, the seed definitely made up for the Bombagus path to Morpha, and it's also the KD path, so you kind of lost a path, haha. With, yeah, here's like all the paths that kind of like intertwine into one another, and it could be a lot of different things. Drew is almost done with GTG though, and key wise, like how many checks can he do? 2 more, because he's already done right side.
Yeah, I already did right side, peek to the one at the top. So yeah,
Didn't see was
2 more.
I don't know if it was a key or not though. That one.
No, same. Didn't really get a good glimpse of it.
I didn't know. He kind of looked at it really fast, and then he's on VC. So
I almost assume it's a small chest at the very least, just on the
Yeah.
grounds of. I think we would have seen more of it if it were a big chest, but like that doesn't answer whether it's a key or a junk check.
key. Yep, the winds.
Carefully avoiding the switch as well.
True. Yeah, and Engel's just trucking in fire in shadow. Oh, now he's pressing the switch. Did the camera? You worked so hard to avoid the switch. Another small key, so that makes it 5.
Yeah.
Was one
And then
in the
there was
maze?
at least one in the maze. Yeah.
This is where the seed is going to give you an ultimatum and give you 2 items on each side.
Oh.
Another big chest here, and
There's the letter.
There's the
Okay.
letter. You probably
So now.
do you finish though? You probably you almost have to, right? Or
Right,
you place wind. You
so
could win though.
I think the thing I would say here is, I think it's most likely that the hovers were the past evolve, but I think you still have to finish here.
Because it could be K-Sword and Hammer could be back here.
Right, and like otherwise, like yeah, you could set Furrow's Wind here, but then you're just leaving it.
Oh my god. Maybe now you do. Oh boy. Oh my god, that's not even.
Oh
my god. What the heck? And now he's leaving.
So I still think this is the thing, right? I think it's more likely that it's the hovers of the past evolve. But when do you come back here, and do you want to just leave Furrow's Wind here that entire time?
Yeah,
Fire arrows!
Wait, I thought there was a big chest on the right side. I was told. No, okay, I guess not.
I don't know.
Those fire arrows are useless though. So
yeah.
unless toilet has an item, I didn't count my keys. Or strength 2 could have something as well. Strength 2 block, I should say.
Yeah, and I already had Dins for Wasteland, but Wasteland could still be the Kakiri sword because of the long shot. Same for Spirit.
Yeah. K-Sword is in like an interesting zone right now where it can be in a lot of interesting places, but you can still skip a lot of stuff.
Yeah, reading the logic on it is going to help a lot. If one of them gets the edge on that, it will be a big difference, but...
Engel skipped Frog's one and he gets the hit for it!
Oh, that's...
Wow. He skipped Frog's one, right? He never went back for it.
I think so, yeah. No, I think so.
Drew's doing Valley, which is fine. But he's going... Yeah. This is where Drew's get the Drew's... It's so good! Drew's are so good!
Right, does get the recoil there. Oh,
No.
no, never mind. I thought he did.
Man.
The timing on that recoil is so bizarre. Why? I guess he was safe scumming the check anyway.
Yeah, I don't know where
that's
Engel
fine.
is going.
You don't pick him up.
Because he should be going Jabu.
Yeah, Is this
he
just like a cleanup?
Ugh,
It can't be Forest, right?
Forest is so bad. There's no way you do Forest here. You have all of Jabu that could not easily, but it could have your K-Sword or Hammer. Right? Like...
Yeah.
Okay, he's not doing Forest. Okay, he's just doing a cleanup around here. Which, I don't even know if it's worth doing a cleanup here. To be honest. Oh, maybe he's getting a... No? Is he walking to water?
Field? Did he do the field checks up?
He's probably going water.
He didn't do remote grotto, right?
No, he didn't touch field. He's going
He
to
did
water for sure.
some on the
I
way
think.
to Big Po.
There's no
Big
way
Po,
you
but
wouldn't.
He didn't do this side.
There's
yeah.
no way you would do this hike without going water, without
Yeah.
Serenade, I think. No?
I think it's remote grotto to water.
Yeah.
Drew, meanwhile,
He is crossing to get the song.
and a couple of checks that could be the sword. Yeah.
I mean, K-Sword could be Wastelands. That'd be good for Drew, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gold Skill was in Shadow. Imagine if Lab Dive. Could be your solution.
Oh god, right, yeah.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah. And
Oh, now-
skips the skull this
yeah.
time. Yeah.
He got... maybe he got... Maybe... I mean, he did get the 50. Oh, he got both hints. He got both hints. Yeah, yeah. He has 30 and 50 now.
Okay. That'll be one.
Yes. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the problem of not doing all of Shadow there. I agree. I think doing all of Shadow because you don't want to restrict your Ferrora's win there is even stronger than...
Right. So yeah, this is kind of the point I was making, is like, I think it's more likely that the hovers were the path to Evolve and there's nothing else in Shadow, but you cannot leave your Feroz in Shadow this entire time. I think you almost have to finish Shadow at that point, because it's too costly not to if you're wrong, and it's too costly to leave at that point. So
I mean,
even though I think it's more likely that it doesn't pay off, I think you still have to do it in that scenario.
Yeah, but I think he just strangleholded his Ferrora's win a little too hard.
Yeah.
Because he's not gonna go to Shadow for so long. That's the problem with it, I think, as well.
This is the other thing, right? And I've kind of made this comment with Majora's Mask more than OOT actually, but if you have a check that is right next to a warp point and you're like, oh, I can do this anytime I want, that almost puts it later in the seed.
It's
because
pretty
you
dangerous,
keep
yeah.
putting it off because I can do it anytime I want. I know Chickens was always that one.
I mean,
in the
I do that.
past.
Castle Fairy is a big one. For me.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
is it Epona Song of Time? Song of Time. That's not what you want to see. I mean, I don't know what he wanted to see, anyways. Maybe Serenade. He has to go Child to do Lens Game here, I think. I don't think Drew has many more options than doing another Child stint here. Because he's pretty restricted without that Shadow tip. Is he going to put his wind in Spirit now? That I don't really agree with. I'd rather have it in GTG, I think. I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, I guess GTG or not, you pretty much full clear GTG, I guess, but...
There are so many more checks here. Knowing
Yeah.
that Requiem is locked, you have to... Oh, well. I guess... So what are the options here? You... I didn't see how many keys are in the Strength 2 room in GTG, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah, that's kind of that's a big awkward one.
I want to say it was... I guess we don't know what the Song of Time locked check in there is, but...
But now we know that... Yeah. I mean, even going to Ice for Epona info can be good. Funnily enough.
No. At this point...
I mean, no,
Epona-
but, like, for Deku purposes. You never do it, but, I mean, maybe...
Epona's has to be behind that at this point, I think. The thing on Drew's side is that Spirit has... Obviously, these aren't equal odds, but Spirit has 3 options. You get 2 checks, no key. You get keys and continue going, and then it's a ton of checks. Or you get 1 check and the boss key, and you can't go further.
But
Whereas the Gerudo Training Grounds is 2 or 3 checks behind Strength 2. Those are the only 2 options.
Yeah, big moment here for Drew for sure. Is he going to Castle
sure.
Fairy? No. I don't think he would have. I think he would have.
Yeah, that's where you would have done it.
I mean, he could walk out after, but I feel like you would probably play Suns in Castle Fairy if you went first.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't want to count it out.
I guess their save quit isn't very useful from here, but...
I guess the save quit being next to it as well, he's going to have to walk out or save quit. So he's still going to be next to it.
Yeah.
Could still do it after.
Like,
I mean,
not much of a time difference to get to the bridge, so...
Yeah, I didn't consider that, but yeah, he has to walk out anyways here. Because of the spawn.
Yeah. I think if you're leaving the market, the save quit is probably a little faster, maybe? Probably about the same.
I don't know on BC. Probably a little
And
bit faster.
at that point, you still just want to walk out then because you get the check.
Engel still 3 keys on 4 checks, so pretty good. I mean, he has to. I mean, Castle Fair now. Yeah, like because of that consideration, I forget that. Yeah, probably he has to do Castle Fairy here, right?
And then you can warp out of that one.
Yeah. All right, let's go, Drew.
And he does. I think.
Right?
Is this,
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
we have a race still.
Yeah. Because if he didn't do it there, I think he's never doing it, right? So.
Right.
Now Drew has direction. Yeah. He's slightly behind because he's done all of GTG.
Right.
Which could still be required. We don't know that. It could still be needed. The crossing could be required. Drew having Song of Time in water. Imagine if Song of Time locked as well.
Even if these things aren't required, they're things that Engel is likely to do. Like, between the bottom of the well having long shot and magic, pointing over towards the wasteland or Gerudo training grounds and all of that. And also, just kind of not having that many options left in general, those are things you're likely to go and do regardless.
Yeah, like, again, Rock Chalk bringing up a good point. No choose for Dragon Chest. He's just like, they strangled them. For Drew, yeah, he's running low on checks already. What he has, Darklink, that's it. This is where, like, having the Furrow's Wind in not Shadow could save you so much time because walking to water is definitely a lot slower at that point. And you know water's required for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, there's only Darklink left. Because he can't do Dragon Chest, he can't do River Chest.
But they were it was definitely choosing Lake Hylia, right? Because Drew skipping the ones in the valley, I get. He was resetting anyway. He wasn't keeping them there.
Yeah.
But if it was definitely bomb choose in Lake, that's the one where both of them I'm kind of a little surprised.
I think that if it is choose, they're both undervaluing choose way too much. You literally save the trip of you grabbing the choose with using one bomb chew over a bomb bag for waiting for explosions. I don't know if there's any reason to do water first here. We know Serenade is probably in... Well, I mean, it has to be behind Deku or Nice, like Epona. It's either that or Epona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know where Drew's hiking. Child Guan City. That's it. And then DMT Grotto. Yeah, he's just doing a little child cleanup. I mean, Drew is definitely probably feeling behind because of GTG already, I think.
And it's just very low on options in general, so especially when you look at this, you're like, okay, no hovers, so Shadow isn't worth much yet. It's a couple of checks whichever way I do it, I'll do the ones I'm the right age for.
Yeah, I think this is fine for Drew. I don't see an issue with it. It's just like unfortunate that it is hovers and the start of Shadow, and then you can do all of Jabu. But Engel, I think I would have done Jabu first, right? Like before committing to water like this. With
I think
no Serenade.
I think I would have gone for Jabu because of the
limitations of everything.
And the paths. Sure, I think all of them are fulfilled already, but a lot of them have pointed towards that kind of.
Yep, Engel is not placing wind. Ooh, okay, yeah.
Oh.
See, he's basically wasted so much time. Like this is a lot of time. Like I said, not having choose, not having Song of Time. Drew could make up a lot of time just by water having either being sung and time locked.
And Serenade is in ice, most likely here.
Ice or Temple of Time. And Epona the other.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't think. I still think Drew's slightly behind because Engel would need to go over to Fortress GTG, but he's not going to. I think, yeah, Drew's low on options now, so he has. I think Drew's remaining seed is all linear now, and it'll all depend on if he wants to do Shadow. I think what we've mentioned earlier will make Drew do Shadow because he's not going to want to dispel his Wind from Spirit.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think there's still a lot pointing towards you doing the back half of Shadow. And Engel kind of feels that way too, because like he put his Wind there, but now it's not appealing to go back, but he still didn't place it for required water. He kept it in Stone Shadow instead. Right? That's kind of like it's a pretty big dilemma, but I think you would rather just you're going back to water for sure. Shadow you don't know. So
I think the other thing here is like the rest of Shadow has 4 checks, maybe. I can't remember how many keys they are on, but about 3 or 4 checks.
I mean, there's 3 or 4. Bracket?
I guess average 3, because it could be anything from 2 to 4. So 3 checks average in the back of Shadow. We have 4 checks in or 3 checks in Ice Cavern because one of them's hinted, plus a couple outside. We have 4 checks in Jabu. We have... What else is even open?
Yeah, they feel like they've done much, but
until they get Strength 2, like every area is kind of low at this point.
I mean, yeah, King Zora could technically have irons, but I'm pretty sure Bombag already fulfills that with the long does it? No.
Oh, wait, what was that, sorry?
The Domain to Morpha, does Bombag fulfill that? Domain to Morpha?
Oh, God.
I'm trying to think of what was Bomb Lock the seed so far. Outside of beating KD. Because Longshot wasn't.
Yeah,
Hovers
Longshot
wasn't. Letter is.
Yeah. Letter and Rang both are.
Yeah. But nothing. Was there a key? I mean, it depends where boss key is, because if it's Dragon Chest. I almost popped off for that big chest, but I forget. It's Hovers. Yeah, in water, I'm just trying to think of if there's anything worth bomb lock. Because that could be, in theory, King Zora could be something to think about. I'm just trying to. I'm not playing, so it's a lot harder to want to keep track of little things like that.
Yeah. The rest of Forest is definitely also an option, although again,
Forest
not a huge number of checks.
With Forest Courtyard, no Minuet, I think you last location Forest this seed. This is the last thing you do.
Yeah.
There's a Drew. Oh, Drew's a.
That was an interesting. He grabbed like the pillar in the middle.
Wait, Drew's going counterclockwise. What the heck? He lied to me. I thought he was a clockwise gamer. SMH. And he would have done.
Going the fast way.
Yeah, unbelievable. Alright, well, Jabu I think is another one that's going to be a good one to look out for items. Not because it's, I mean, it is progression, so it's,
Yeah.
you have to do it,
Yeah.
but I think it's not unlikely to have Hammer or Caseward at all this seed.
Yeah, between Jabu and Ice Cavern, I think that's the most likely place to look for relevant things here because all of the hints, again, the hints have been fulfilled, but we're kind of low on options, and
Yeah.
these items have all been hinted along the way.
Yeah. There's a chance Engel goes to Ice, yeah. For Song of Time. That would be the huge... I don't know if it's the huge play. I don't know. It's so hard, because Engel could still think that long... It could... I mean, there's still long shot to cross as well. He might just go do that first.
Yeah, and obviously, we're talking about what we know as a whole. From Engel's perspective, Gerudo Training Grounds is just the best play. Like, no questions asked. Like, you go to GTG, there's not even a consideration.
But yeah, that win in Shadow, like I said, is underratedly kind of not good, I think.
It might work out kind of okay for Engel on that front if he decides to write off the Wasteland and Spirit and instead warps from GTG over to Shadow.
But
then the question then is, like, at that point you're not freeing up your Frostwind because you've already been to all the other places you would want to set it.
Yeah,
and at that point, like, yeah, you don't have it set anymore, but it's no longer useful. You've already lost the time.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Song of Time right now is massive for Drew. I mean, let's see. Because Engel's probably going to do GTG and Cross before Ice, I would think, this seed, because the long shot in the well. I think. But, I mean, obviously, Ice is still an option because of the letter and of the song.
Yeah.
They both have about the same value in the sense of, like, they could both have your items just as much as the other.
Right, like, Magic locked everything Engel's doing, so the Kakiri sword could still just be anywhere in here.
But it also locked letter.
Right.
And also it could just be long shot to Cross to get that Song of Time or something, or it could be for GTG or for Spirits.
We're essentially... I kind of joked about it when we first started finding the items. With, you know, the Kakariko path to King Dodongo, and it was like, cool, your bomb bag could be anywhere in the seed. We're at the point now where all of these hints intertwine in such a way that there's not a ton open, but any of the items could be just about anywhere.
Sponge, I feel like I've heard that play before. I've never forgotten that seed. Yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe you do Ice for Serenade.
Ice, honestly, I hate it, and I think it's correct.
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, you do it for either Song of Time or Serenade. Obviously, we know it's either Serenade or Epona, but
To say it's a while since I've been on commentary, so I don't know how much people are aware and stuff. But I know there's a lot of people who love Ice. I hate it. I think it's like the worst thing ever. In this situation, it could likely being Serenade. I think you do it.
Mostly for Engel, I think. Drew having Song of Time.
I think it's good for both of them, but yeah.
I think it helps for opponent logic because then you know Longshot can be path for GTG. Specifically, right? Base Order can't be in GTG at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, correct.
So.
Yeah, it would narrow down the logic a little bit, although even then, not that much.
I mean, obviously, strength, like, for all Engel knows, strength 2 could be in, like, GTG to get something, but...
Right, well, that's exactly it. It's like, you narrow down not having to go there until you go to one of your other locations, find strength 2, and then you're like, well, now it is locked.
Did it turn out to be, like, linear at the start, but now it's like, God, it's... There's options.
It's messy, and in a fun way.
Yeah, it's not go here, get the item, go. It's go here, oh shit.
Go here, get the item you weren't expecting, panic, figure out what's next.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's honestly, like, that's one of the best parts of this, because then it's a real test of, like, not just the execution, the logic, the routing, but also, okay, think quickly, how do you react to this thing?
Here, Drew, what's his decision? Is he going to finish Shadow? I think it's important to mentally do it, make a decision, and he's bailing. Bailing, no wind, nothing, just bailing. He's...
Ooh!
The
snap decision on it as well!
No hesitation. I don't know if it's good. No shortcut, nothing, yeah.
It's just gone.
I mean, shortcut is pretty slow. I feel like at that point, if you commit to that, just finish, but...
Yeah, if you can finish, I don't think you open a shortcut. But, yeah, no, this is really interesting as well. And it's that kind of on-the-fly routing that I think is honestly the biggest skill in Rando.
I mean, it just shows, like I said...
Come up quite this much.
I think it's hard. It's a hard call. It's really a hard call to finish Shadow right now. I think it's really difficult.
I agree.
And I think there's both sides to that, like both sides of the coins, I should say, because obviously you can just do jab progression, but also you have Shadow Path to Volt, Shadow Path to, Shadow Magic could be Path to K-Sword, you have Lighter that was guaranteed in there, now you have Hover's Hammer, like... Well, the Path to Volt is... it's Hover's, probably?
Yeah, almost.
Okay, so Drew's doing Tectite Grotto, and then he's gonna... Is he just doing Tectite Grotto and then walking back to the river?
Maybe? I guess?
I don't know. Yeah. He's playing very safe. That's like...
I guess you just got the scale.
Oh,
your other scale was in a past location, although that one is more than fulfilled.
Yeah, he might go to... Yeah, yeah, there was shoes there.
Right. I missed that one earlier.
He's doing Valley Waterfall. Nothing on Baronade. So
no, nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I genuinely think they both undervalue a lot of the choose. I think underrated.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you can do... Dragon Chest is the big one right now that they're not thinking of. I mean, obviously, I don't think I would have immediately thought of that either, but...
Yeah, no. Like, I would have just thought of the amount of time it saves over a bomb explosion.
It's almost 4 seconds per explosive, maybe a bit less, but...
Right, and, like, you can shoot them, but even then, it's still a couple of seconds there.
Yeah. Yeah, Drew's just going... He's not even doing value, he's just going to... I guess he wanted...
He's
I guess
peaked both.
Yeah, but he's getting the one check on the way, I guess. It might be a tad slower, but he's getting an extra check, so that's fine. No, I don't think it is...
to Tectite as well. It was the logic towards the gold scale, I think, that was the big deal for him.
And Lab Dive, yeah, that makes sense. He's doing 2 checks on the way, Quarry, I think, slower, but... It's
both tie into that shadow.
I like it. I like it. Yeah,
I think it's worth it.
I mean, for what it's worth, we have Drew's tracker, and he didn't mark the hovers on there.
Oh, bad.
So he's just thinking it's scale and letter, probably. I don't know. Like I said, tough seed to make decisions on. Early game, I think, was pretty straightforward, but late game now, whew, tough.
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting seed so far, and like, we're at the point now where there aren't a ton of options.
Yeah.
And none of the options are good, but they all have some merit to them.
Yeah. Ice, for what it's worth, Engel is an okay play for Engel. Is an okay play for Drew. I don't know. Honestly, I think he might prefer water over ice. But like was previously mentioned, Serenade has a big chance of being there now for him, which makes it better.
I think also, Jabu to ice to water is good, but yeah.
Should Drew have emptied 1 bottle to get milk?
Maybe.
It's milk. I mean, he probably wants to keep the blue fire. I don't know if it's faster to just drink the milk than
equipped as well.
Yeah. I mean, you have to re-menu again. Because you have to menu.
Welcome in, Tudos and Raiders, joining 1 hour 40 into a seed that started looking like it was going to be incredibly linear, incredibly quick, and the hints have turned out to be a chaotic jumble. We can do our best to summarize it, but honestly, there's a lot.
That's a lot to unpack, yeah. Engel is doing cleanup that Drew's done at this point. So yeah, I mean, it's GTG versus a water hike, which Engel has to hike again probably, or do ice, which I think at this point is probably just do ice for him, honestly. Because you get checks, or I mean, do ice or GTG cross. Those are the two options. I think Drew's in an easier position to make decisions now because of GTG, but ugh. Engel,
Yeah.
what do you do? What do you do? Do you go Shadow? Here might be the best time to go back Shadow. It might be the only time to go back Shadow. What else? Do you go GTG instead?
Ice?
Do you cross? Ice?
You get, I think Ice to Shadow makes sense because you get King's Aura on the way in with the blue fire they picked up.
And then you wind out. Yeah.
So you wind from the final.
Or you can just play Serenade and go water.
Right. But you can do
But
that
then,
after Shadow.
because he wants Song of Time, I
Maybe.
think he's mostly going to do Ice because of Song of Time. But I could be. It depends if he plays Bolero. Okay, he's playing Bolero.
Alright.
Yep, that's Ice, most likely. Could dip Fire. He could dip Fire. There's an extra check that we haven't seen in Fire as well, but I think it's Ice. Yep, absolutely Ice. Which, honestly, pretty good. I think it's a pretty good play. I don't know if it's going to pay out. Letter could be the solution, but who knows? Who knows? Like I said, I think decision-wise, this is very difficult. I think for any player.
For sure, yeah.
Now, gold skill is guaranteed, not path. Wasteland we've seen. Drew's done Wasteland.
Yeah.
Fire arrows.
But it could be some kind of spirit logic for something deep in there.
Yeah,
Fire
but
arrows were... Well, I guess fire arrows were the center of
GTG, which are definitely
Druid
not in
training
Logic.
grounds, which could be available with... No. Never mind, can't be available.
Ooh, angle. You don't have the right angle here. Haha. Okay, he adjusted.
God damn it.
I mean, Spirit is a stone decker, so
Alright, I'm gonna
It's
quickly
pretty
run off to
unlikely.
grab a drink after we've seen King's Aura because I need a refill.
Yeah,
from the
also-
road starting. But
Requiem is hinted on Burning Cack, for what it's worth.
so King's Aura, Zora's Domain was past the Morpher. We got our bomb bag that's locked almost everything.
Well,
But it
not
could
really everything.
Just be this.
It could be irons.
If it's irons.
That'd be funny. Could be something else.
Oh my god.
It's just also fucking irons.
This is ridiculous. Amazing. I'm gonna go grab a drinks refill.
Yep. Go, I'll keep it. I mean, getting irons here is nice for Zora's Fountain as well. You can do the extra check. I mean, the bomb bag is very likely Path to Morpha too, so that's kind of like the thing that's kind of difficult about that. To not be like tempted to come here. Irons are definitely going to make Engel be a bit upset because it's... Yeah, the irons might not be required, but they're going to make it so Essential Pillar and such is going to make it like be able to beat water. Well, they're not to path directly. Cack is to KD, which is the scale, and then Domain could be just directly the bomb bag. So they're both two different items, but one leads to the other one that isn't required. It can. Yeah, the same item can be... So you mean that... Well, not to the same exact check, no, but... Cat pointed to the scale, and Domain could have just pointed to the bomb bag, no. So... That's true too. That's true too, those. Well, we're still missing the well to... well to Key Sword. Or to Goma, sorry. And the path to Goma is what? It's like long shot magic? Which magic locked a lot, and long shots locked. Well, long shot's gonna be important here. If we get Epona here, yeah, we definitely get Goron Tunic as well, which I guess we could start considering now. It could be possible. Oh yeah, Fox, that's true. We didn't count the keys, but I guess you can't without strength 2.
I still refuse to consider the Goron Tunic.
I think it's almost time to start being a possibility. How many keys did you have in fire? He had 1. If he gets 1 on the other bomb side, that's fire, deeper fires, and logic without hammer. Oh, there's a big chest of ice.
Though.
They are. Fire sucks. You're gonna dip fire before going back to forest, though.
Do you want to hear probably my hottest take about OoTR in general?
Oh.
I think you'd rather do checks in water than stone, forest, or fire.
I mean, fire's a mad right now, so you climb, you could get the boss key.
Yeah, but as into
Oh.
Go fire, I guess.
There's your letter to. Yeah, Din's is for letter, and then letter's for hammer. Shadow's path to wolf. Shadow's path to wolf for the letter, and mark it as path to Baronade for the Dins.
That's gross. This has basically been 2 items hinted, and a lot of chains to those 2 items.
K-Sword might just be in fire now.
Yeah.
that wallet. The Goron Tunic, sorry. But the magic locks it as well at this point, so. But Engel, I mean, I think is he just committing to not doing GTG? We'll see. He might still need Song of Time, which could be costly for him. We'll see. For his sake, he probably wants Serenade here. Ooh.
Wrong direction.
Yeah, now it's just what does... I mean, Drew kind of... Drew kind of just has... What? Does he... Ice? Does he go ice before water here? He might.
I think so, because of Serenade. Like... Yeah, the odds of just being able to go from ice straight to water are just too good.
I mean, just like the irons, like everything, it's just safe. I mean, for all we know, Serenade could be at Temple of Time.
Right. I think it's far more likely that it's here, though.
Yeah, I think so as well. Sword could also just be back here. Could be in water. Because technically irons are locked by letter right now, so.
Yeah, I think as far as the logic goes,
Yep, there you go.
I think the most likely thing is still Kokiri Sword being locked by Strength 2 behind the long shot. So anything Strength 2 locked here would also be behind long shot if the Kokiri Sword locks opponents. So I think that's the most likely option. But there are so many factors here that it could essentially be almost anywhere at this stage.
Yeah, so we're missing Kokiri Sword and light arrows for go mode. Or yeah, because we just got irons now, so. But yeah, K-Sword cannot be in forest. Yeah, forest is unrequired at this point. I mean, it could have lights. Sorry, it could have lights. My bad. But
it's basically the same thing.
I mean, what lights can be wherever, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You have a nice person telling you where they are. How nice of them. I could have strength too, that's true. But yeah, that confirms that Longshot locks all of GTG as well, logically, so That's tasty. That's juicy for Engel as well now. Even more than before.
And that's kind of, again, I think as expected here is you need to find strength 2. And then the long shot is the path to Goma because all the strength 2 locks are locked behind long shot because you don't have access to opponents.
Yeah, now Drew's is going to ice though before touching Drew. You should never done this.
Have either of them?
Yeah, Engel did. He did the cleanup, remember, when we thought he was going forest?
Right, yeah. Right, the frog's hint.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just gonna go ice now. No, he's just gonna do the checks around first. He's gotta be chasing that letter too. Yeah, he finally put hovers for Shadow, by the way, on this tracker. But yeah, he's chasing that letter, I think, mostly. Which is going to be a net positive for Drew overall. Because Engel basically walked all the way to water for nothing at this point. Like, that hike to water is a little big loss of time.
Oh, for sure.
And then doing gold scale water is obviously a lot slower. And he still doesn't have...
Just being able to beat water on the first trip is a lot less backtracking and
K-Sword's not in fire. I think Drew will have the edge.
I think so. It's
Unless
hard to
Strength 2
say
is in
right now,
fire.
but... And obviously, like, looking at this right now, like, it looks like Drew is pretty notably behind. He's basically
slightly behind.
an ice cavern behind because of going over to the Gerudo area. But, yeah, there's a lot more for Drew to gain back at this point, I think.
I don't think he can lose that much over Engel now. Engel has to just hope that everything is on the way.
Engel can still lose time, both in the sense of having to go over to the Gerudo area. The Gerudo area is an option if it's not required, but also if Song of Time is required and Engel doesn't go.
Yeah.
There are multiple ways that Engel can lose time here. So Drew being... Sorry, floating Mido always just... Yeah, so Drew is behind right now, but there are so many opportunities for Engel to lose time. I don't think there are many for Drew.
I mean, the big one is Shadow, I guess. But at this point, there's only K-Sword, which is super unlikely, I think, at this point now. Before, we could still have the chance of having Hammer back there, but now with having it from Ice... Yeah. But also, Engel could be tempted to go back to Shadow, which could be even more time loss.
Right. Yeah, that's one that they both have available to them, for sure. And to be fair, it might be required, right? Strength 2 could be pretty much anywhere. And all of the paths would be fulfilled if they found Strength 2. Even if they just, okay, it's the next check in Forest. It's been available since, like, the start of the game. But if your second Strength is just in there, all of your paths are fulfilled at that point.
I mean, you still have...
Assuming Strength 2 leads to the Kakiri Sword.
Right. But you still have direction for K-Sword right now. Like, after Fire, Engel, like, what? Like, he might do Shadow first, sure, that's fine. But he's definitely going to go cross with Long Shot. Like...
Yeah.
But does he do that before Water? Like, does he want to cross to try to get Song of Time? Like...
I don't think so.
But it's interesting because he'll probably want his Wind gone in Shadow and then cross to place it in Spirit if he can.
Right, I think the way it works out here is you do Water after this. If you get locked out, you can just throw straight back to Shadow.
There's so much little in water left for Engel that it's probably not worth it to just go, even if it's progression.
Which checks? So you got the Dragon Chest and the Central Pillar that he can do.
Oh, that's a big item. He got Bosky, and there's a big item in the upper base. I mean, you gotta go now, even if you get locked out. Yep, no, he's not locked out yet. But that is interesting.
Yeah, I think Engel had 3 checks left in water, excluding Morpher. 3 where the boss
because
needs to
there's a river chest, central pillar, and dragon chest. I think are left.
be. Yeah, and can do 2 of them right now. And I think you take those odds. I think you go to water before crossing.
Oh, he is locked out. But oh shit,
That's huge.
that's huge.
Oh, dispels the FW and leaves it in fire.
Yeah, he's saying goodbye, Shadow, forever. Yep. But he's gonna go. I mean, he's coming back up here. The other big
There's
chest.
a big chest in the next room.
Yeah, that's why he plays. That's why he plays to win. I think he's prioritizing.
I know,
the check
yeah.
now.
Oh no, I agree, but that, yeah, no, I think that's a really good read on the logic at the very least.
I mean, Kieswer could still be in the back of Shadow.
It could be, but no, it's so likely that it's behind Strength 2 here.
Probably, but I mean that strength 2 immensely helps Engel for his routing.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, like I said, is an incremental time save that Drew's gonna start saving over Engel. Even because Drew's gonna get that strength 2 as well. Like, there's no way he doesn't. Because he's gonna get the hammer here, go fire. He's just gonna be chasing Engel for a long time. It's just Engel has decisions to make. He's gonna go GTG and probably clear GTG now as well. If it's not strength 2 locked in GTG, Drew's ahead, I think, right? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I think the odds are more likely that it's Strength 2 locked. Just on sheer density. There are far more Strength 2 checks at this point than outside, really. Spirit is incredibly strong. But if it's, the end of Shadow, if it's somewhere in water, I think this gives Drew the edge on that because he's spent a lot less time kind of going back and forth around all of this.
Okay. Engel almost missed the slam, but
Recovery.
He got it. Okay. I think what Engel does here is pretty important. I mean, he's going to play. I think he plays Serenade no matter what, because obviously it's his fastest way to crossing as well. But
yeah,
I mean, that's probably the point, right? You're just saving a Serenade save warp if you just don't take what. But then, like, your water's all the way up. You can't do Dragon Chest. I mean, I guess you don't have Song of Time, so you can't do Dragon Chest super easily. You have to lower the water again twice. Ugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like so
and I
slow.
guess he doesn't know for certain that it's Epona's behind Deku. You can kind of assume, like, oh, okay, long shot in the well. Sorry, that jump that Drew, like,
Yeah.
Drew's still the only person I know who does that, and I still love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously you can kind of assume.
I guess this is a correct play.
Oh, straight back up.
Yeah, he put his one there, so he's going back.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, he would not have dispelled it. I mean, maybe still, but you chase the information you can get. Where is he going? Bomb refill. That's it.
Yeah?
Right.
Yeah, must be.
But the big question now is, does Drew... That's going to be even worse for Drew. Do you dispel your fire, your wind out of Spirit? But you're going to get Strength too? You might just go... You might just beat fire and
go to Spirit, yeah.
Yeah. But he's going to see the big chest, I think, is still too tempting, right? To not go for.
I think so. Yeah, you go for the top chest and then go to
He's
Spirit.
going water first.
But at that point, you just clear fire.
I mean, it makes sense for Drew to do water because he can just
Oh,
efficiently
yeah,
clear.
no, 100%.
But also, he had to menu for Zora Tunic over Goron Tunic. Now he's going to have to menu for Goron Tunic again. Well, maybe not, but technically.
Just get yelled at by Navi, it's fine.
And
And
Survey says
Nope.
nope. Okay.
That's about as
He's
much
okay.
as you get.
He's just leaving. Yep. He's just leaving. Oh, Engel is just isolating all these deep dungeons so hard. Like who? But he's going back. Yeah, he's just going back water. No song of
It's
time.
funny. So at the start of this race, I said, oh yeah, Drew's spoken about changing up his playstyle recently. He's going to play more aggressively. Engel is playing more
Oh,
aggressively.
Engel is a very aggressive player in general. Like, where is he? He's placing his wind there now. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, now, like I said, he has to, like, honestly, like, Engel has to go back to where Drew is in the room. Like, this is closer race than you think. I mean, obviously he's a fire behind, but I just don't see Engel skipping GTG.
Yeah,
Unless
I agree.
Unless he needs Song of Time, but at that point he'll want his wind. I mean, I guess this is the mistake.
Right now, I think Drew is advantaged, unless, and this is like incredibly low odds, unless the Kokiri sword is in the 2 checks in water that Engel is about to do.
Yeah. Which, can they be? It's possible, Kirk, for sure. But 1v1s are a different beast, man.
And, like, God, it's so difficult to write off that many checks.
I mean, they could all be, yeah. I mean,
it's been a while since I've gone through the numbers, but Gerudo Training Grounds is what, 11 checks?
I'm not sure.
11? I can't remember which way round Bottom of the Well and GCG go, but something like that. 13? Okay. I went the wrong way
13.
round.
Yeah.
Bottom of the Well is 11. Okay.
If I had my tracker up, I would see it. But yeah. Engel's just,
Yeah, this is...
I mean,
don't know.
if it
Training
is,
rounds are so hard to skip. Spirit is so strong. Like, you have to go through those.
like I said,
and-
if Bosky, sorry, I don't want me to cut you off too much,
go
but
ahead,
if Bosky's in water in a central pillar, Drew's gonna, like, it saves so much time because I don't think he does dragon stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Not to mention, obviously, River Chest on top as well. It's just...
Yeah, it's
Yeah?
not Bosky. That's Engel lost so much time already.
This
Like-
water trip is... Oh, well, the first water trip.
The first water
Is,
trip is
proving
so
to be
costly.
costly.
So hard. So costly. I'm surprised Drew didn't peek this from the top. I guess he... I don't even know if it's faster to peek it that way.
No idea.
Compass.
I guess it puts you in a good position for this.
I mean, they both do.
You can peek this one as well, right?
Yeah, you can, but I can't trust this peak, honestly. Especially on Drew on VC, it's really hard to see with so much water in front of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless it's like a big chest, you basically are meant. And if it's a big chest, you get it anyways. Yeah.
You're only looking for the big chests at that point anyway, right?
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, I guess you still want to see if it's an item or not, even if it's a small chest sometimes. That's Bosky. Okay.
Okay. Having not learned most of these peaks, I have no idea where you're meant to look for things like that, and so I'm just like, alright, I'll trust whatever anyone else tells me.
Yeah, so this peak here is pretty interesting. You just line yourself up, and there's one of lines in the water here. You're going to line yourself up, and then you just like target and then retarget, and then you release camera, and then the camera pans up, and you can see the boss, the chest on the top right of your screen.
I could not see the chest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't know what you're looking for.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice peak. Yeah, essential irons are going to ice was just. I mean, obviously it was required for the hammer, but King Zoro's also give you irons. Yep. So Drew, yeah, Drew's not even going to go to Dark Link. Nice grab by Engel. Let's see if he doesn't mess up the corner, and looks good.
Kill, yeah.
Yeah. Nice quick kill. Clean.
So now we get... Drew will go to fire after this. 100%. The biggest question will be if he goes up to where the strength is, and given that you peek the big chest near it, I think there's no reason not to.
Also, we'll see if they remember Shoot the Sun hinted.
Oh, yeah. Easy one to forget.
Oh.
That was smooth, wow.
Yeah, with hovers too. That's extra swag.
Yeah, the big question here will be where Engel goes. Engel has...
I mean, he has to walk to GTG here, right? There's nothing else. Unless he goes Deep Fire and Deep Shadow, but there's no way. There's no way. He dispelled his win twice.
Yeah, I think the other option would be to walk past,
GTG.
like, just straight through the fortress.
He
Go over
could,
to Spirit.
But going in and peeking the middle is too fast. There's...
I agree. I think that is the correct play. But a lot of that will come down to 1v1 mindset. How behind do you feel? How much do you want to risk things at this stage? It is incredibly easy to always think you're behind in a 1v1.
Engel ever do the adult lake checks? I don't remember if he did or not.
I
Did he do it on his first trip here? I know Drew did because he went out of the sword.
so, yeah.
Somebody can tell me otherwise, but... About 2 hours 8 in, we had bottom of the well to go as one of our first hints, and still unfulfilled because of long shot and magic and Goron tunic.
Oh my god, it might be the Goron tunic still.
It could still be, yeah, absolutely. Like
That's strength 2.
Yeah, strength 2. That strength 2 is like just majorly likely at this point. And like I said, if it is, can Drew beat Fire before Engel is done with GTG? If he does GTG, of course.
Yeah, Drew having the Furrows in Spirit is pretty phenomenal at this point. That is going to make a big, big difference.
Yeah. 100%. But they both get no choose. Did Drew peek this chest? I don't think he did. It's nothing.
Okay.
You would have seen it if it was big. Even if you didn't see it directly if it was small. You can just do like a shoulder peek.
And I do think, for what it's worth, I think Engel has, to some extent, been fortunate with it. To some extent, you know, it's Drew having a fun time with the slug there. Has, to some extent, you know, read the logic well at this stage, and it's kind of a bit of both, not having done the checks earlier when Drew did, not having to do them now, but getting to skip things like Adult Lake, like the Valley checks, is helpful.
The big question, this is going to be the big decision. I mean, it could just be in GTG as well, and that's,
right.
I mean, that is the best case for Engel, I think. Maybe not,
There
I
are
mean...
still 3 items left in there. Or 3 checks, I should say.
This is still, at the end of the day, a pretty surprisingly close race. Because
Yeah.
Drew, I don't know. It's all about that win dispel, honestly.
I can't imagine Drew having a reason to dispel the Furrows here. I think he just goes up to the second... So he'll peek the top chest when he gets the boss key. And I think at that point, he'll just go up to that.
He'll
So
just
get
walk
the
in
strength.
fire and go back.
Yeah, he'll get the strength, he'll get the Stone of Agony, and then he'll beat Vol.
Do the same thing. No, you can't.
And
You have to beat Volv. Volv has your key to get up.
Oh, was that?
That's what I meant.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why Engel
yeah.
not wasted, but yeah, Engel's in GTG now. Which
Use the FW up and down. Yeah. Oh god.
this,
Getting
yeah,
strength 2? I don't think Drew dispels. I think you just recline.
yeah, yeah. That's like I said. He's gonna find strength 2 and be like, he's gonna have to make another decision right on the spot.
The fact that it's specifically strength 2 as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Engel sees the big chest in the middle, so now he has an idea that Strength 2 could lock the center chest here. So he kind of has to commit to this as well, I think. I don't see how he doesn't.
I agree. And of course, having Strength 2 and, you know, being that chest in the center, I think going the left side first makes sense.
Yeah, it's super difficult, honestly, because you want to reclimb to get that one big chest that could still be your potential, and you just... I feel like you'd feel too much like an idiot to not go back in.
I guess that's the real question. It isn't, do you get rid of the FW? Because I think you always keep it and use it for spirit. The real question is, do you go back in for the upper maze chest first?
So you could go back in and then justify winning to spirit from there because you're just in the dungeon already.
But then at the same time, there's a reasonable shout to just go straight back into fire to put yourself into a dungeon and then you're gone.
I mean, I don't know how you copy save file because you'd have to reset.
Yeah, you would have had to already save in here.
Which you can't scum Volve. That's the big thing.
Yeah. You would have had to have saved and copied the file before going into fire, I think. Because otherwise you can't dispel the furrows.
And save.
And save the other one. Yeah.
Just because of Volve, honestly. Because you have to go down and kill Volve. You're not going to kill Volve twice. It's a moment of truth, though, for Engel, I think.
Yeah, it's 2 or 3 items in here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Does Drew know that? Hover? It's too late now, though. He would have done it if he did. Mario things.
Alright, 1 down. 2 down.
So no.
That's all 3. So
Yeah, that's...
toilet is a key, and that means there is nothing relevant in here. So it is Spirit versus...
Okay, Drew. Show us what you...
Shadow?
Oh, shit. No, Drew, you can't. Oh, he's just gonna jump down? He might just jump down here. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh. Don't do it. No, Drew. No. That puts Engel ahead.
I think so, yeah.
That was like his last. That was his chance.
We know that Engel... So we've already seen the rest of the training grounds on Drew's side. We know that Engel is going to get fire arrows in the center. Not much else.
There's no way he clears Volve twice, Decker. I'm sorry.
I don't. If somebody clears Volve twice in this scenario, I think that's the worst of the options that were there.
Just climbing is faster. But just not wasting your wind and reclimbing is faster, Decker. You would never make that play.
Yeah, you're either committing to not doing Spirit immediately by getting rid of the Forest Wind, or you're climbing to keep it.
It's not the jumping down. Is he dispelled his Furor's Wind, which was at the start of Spirit Temple, but he doesn't have Requiem to get there faster. And that was like his best out to get back into the lead.
Advantage Engel then. So Engel can't really cost that much time here either. There's not much else to lose time on, right?
Yeah. I think he's just going to clear this, get nothing out of it, go cross. He's going to be in spirits.
Yeah. And I guess the only thing... What could swing the race at this point? So right now, ball is firmly in Engel's court. The big difference, I think, would be if the magic in bottom of the well was the path to Goma, and Drew goes back to Shadow after this instead of Spirit.
Keep going in fire, too. Drew could keep going into fire. That could have something.
The tunic could be it as well. Yeah.
Well, not just the tunic. The hammer could be pointing to that as well. Because the hammer was behind later, which is behind magic.
Right. Oh, God, yeah.
This is a mess. There's just so many little things that lock K-Sword that could be.
Yeah. There isn't a lot you can skip. Engel is doing a good job getting to skip them.
Yeah, we'll see how Drew performs. I think him dispelling is a win now, though. Like, he's going to get strength 2. He's going to go back to top fire, and then he's just going to have to commit to deep fire, I think.
Yeah. He's definitely going to feel bad about it, but
Yep,
this is kind of, again, goes back to what we were saying earlier. One of the real, like, I think the hardest things in Rando, and one of the things that separates a lot of the runners in bracket matches, that decides a lot of these top level matches, is
immediate
spur of the moment decision making. How well do you adjust to, I just got this and I have to decide right now, every second I wait I'm losing time.
The seed had two really good spots for like showcasing that Shadow and then in fire here. And they both made different decisions on both ends every time.
Right, which has made it a really interesting race, despite them mostly doing the same things.
I mean, they both dispelled the place wind here to peak to get the guaranteed big chest here, but
and they both bailed out on Shadow as well, but
yeah, they both bailed on Shadow. We'll see
it
fire
certainly
here.
made it into an interesting race, just on the grounds that there's a lot of turning points, a lot of things that.
He's doing the same thing. He's not going deep fire.
Oh,
He's
that's
playing...
a cross, isn't it?
No, Serenade is faster, isn't it? He's checking. Oh,
oh!
He reset Volve.
He reset Volve. That's the first time I've ever seen this.
Still behind.
At least intentionally. I've definitely seen people reset dungeons away, but never planned to.
He's still behind, unfortunately.
I think so. That's.
I mean, at that point, yes,
that's
but
unbelievable.
He should know that climbing is faster than killing Volve twice and going through like 17 cutscenes.
Yeah, the Volve cutscene is so long as well. So you did mention earlier, Drew only recently learned the choose strat for Volve. Is this a thing of like overestimating how fast it is?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is definitely just a spur of the moment.
Right, which like maybe with a bit more experience on this strat, you're more confident to just go, okay, I never do this.
Yeah, and then I mean, obviously there's this, and then there's minor cutscene is marginal on the time loss, but he's gonna have to get that again.
I think that's a relevant one to get though. That's
I mean, honestly, you say if it's faster, I think that's the difference right now. If Drew kept his wind and spirit and just climbed instead, I think he'd be right there next to Engel right now in spirit.
Probably. Yeah. He'd probably be on the way through fire at this point to the chest. So.
No, VXR, you got it wrong. This is an intentional reset. So he put his wind in spirit, but he put it in fire. So he's refighting Volve to get his wind back into spirit. So he fought Volve, went back into deeper fire to go to big chest. and now he reset to keep his wind and spirit, but he's fighting Volve again instead of re-climbing.
Yeah.
Which is what we're kind of discussing.
It's a very intentional reset. I do think climbing is slow. Like, I'm not saying I think climbing fire is good, and I think Drew would still be behind at this stage regardless. But I don't know. I think climbing is faster. I think Drew would be in spirit at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'd be
Behind
in spirit.
Engel, but in spirit.
Now, there's part of me that kind of wants to go back and try to just replicate everything and climb instead of killing Volve.
That is this is an incredible, like, sequence of events. And it's the kind of, once in a lifetime moment in a seed. Like, how often do you get a seed where this is your decision?
And you look at it, it's a race. It is a race. By all means and purposes.
Sequencing checks in spirit could make the difference.
Yeah, it could. Deciding if it's not here, it could make the difference.
Does one go through the lobby to the BMOS check and the other one go around the hands to the BMOS check?
Does one just... Yeah. Do you, like, go do Bosky chest first? Do you go to the BMOS room? Like, do you do the loop before you, like, the 4 Armos loop before you even do the child climb section?
Right, yeah. There's some good options here. There's some really fun options here, and it's still right down to the wire. Again, advantage Engel on the grounds of, he's 2 rooms ahead. Oh! And... No! Not yet! Oh, he said they were close in seeding, close in record against each other, close in recent race results. Yeah. Yeah, close in head-to-head as well, apparently.
I was muted. Whoops.
Oh.
Yeah, this is, like, insanely close, so... but they've, like, isolated the same stuff. Drew just has GTG that he doesn't have over Engel, the Strength 2 stuff, so...
Right, yeah. Engel gonna grab this key.
At the end of the day, it's still better for Drew to have done what he did than completely whiff his wind out of spirit.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. And if nothing else, let's be fair here, it's memorable.
Yeah. Yes, Kokiri Sword is required. You need Kokiri Sword and Deku Shield to get Mido out of the way, which Engel still needs to buy a Deku Shield. Could make the difference.
Oh, he does! I forgot about that. He hasn't found another one. Oh, that... The couple of loading zones isn't the difference, right? No way.
I don't think so. I mean, VC's going to save time overall on loading zones, or on menuing. Yeah. But also, there's another thing. We could, like, what if we need Mirror Shield? Yeah. Wait, Fox? Oh, no, wait, Fox has a... Are we out of logic because of Requiem?
No, right? This is all 3 key. We saw...
Burning Tag is Requiem.
One at the start, second in...
Yes, Spike.
Right, we don't know the BMOS chest. BMOS chest is relevant. Right?
I'm not a spirit.
One key fire source. Yeah, 1 key fire source and all of the items for both ages to climb. BMOS chest is in, so if BMOS is a key, we're in logic. And if it's not, we're out of logic.
There you go. Yeah, he didn't even open the boss key chest. And Drew is...
Gone? What?
I mean, you don't need the boss key chest, so it's fine. But why did he reset?
Gone? That's...
What?
Is Drew reading something in the logic that we're missing?
He's probably he's thinking too much, I think.
These are both small.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
And now
this
the
is
rest of Spirit is out of logic, no matter what. Right?
no. Well, if Beamos has a small key, can't four
I
armors
guess it could be
Yeah, I mean,
boss key as well. If Beamos is a key, I think boss key could be available. But otherwise, I
Maybe.
think that's... Yeah.
I mean, what Engel did, I think, could technically still be in logic, but now that it's nothing, this. I mean, if this is not a key, it can't be Kakiri's sword, right? So.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, could it be Kakiri's sword? I think it could be. Because then that would give you Requiem.
There's a key.
Never mind.
But you're
So
missing one key. You're still missing one Mirror Shell lock key.
I think boss key chest is in logic and that's it, yeah.
No. Wait, where's Boss Key chest?
No.
The last small key is Mirror Shell as the four armors, no? Or Child Spirit.
Or child side, but then there's still a check at the top that you can do, right? Oh, no, 5 keys, yeah.
Yeah, no 5 keys.
Right, you're still missing... Yeah, okay. So... What is left?
What? He's
Drew's going to... Engel's going...
Water?
River chest?
But that's not locked by Longshot or Magic? Wait, is River Chest hinted dead?
It is! Song of Time!
Oh, the sun. Okay. Yeah, Song of Time is...
Yeah, Sugar Sun is hinted dead. Song of Time was locked by Longshot, so this is logically locked behind all of this.
No, Creative Fairy's not been done. That's right, Zenu. That's another one
That's
that could
true, and Hammer is locked behind this whole chain of items as well.
I swear, Engel, if you pull this out of fucking water... Sorry for the language, but...
Oh.
What does Drew do here? Because we know this is nothing.
Yeah, so he does this and then he has what? Water,
Fire.
shadow,
Fire.
fire, crater fairy, I guess.
I mean... Oh... This is exciting, but also, holy crap.
Yeah, this is tense. Water, shadow, fire, and I think that's it, right? Pretty much.
Mhm.
If we count Crater Fairy as part of fire?
Wow. Yep, Drew's gone. Wait, he's going back to Spirit? It has to be, right?
I guess.
Well, he's...
Why?
Why would he have left in the first place then? I mean, maybe he's just resetting to just, like, go elsewhere, and he's just gonna be in Spirit. Nope,
No.
I don't get this then.
This is odd. Drew, we mentioned... So one thing I've definitely always think about with races like this, and I think it comes up for a lot of people. Who is good with pressure? And, you know, we're pretty good friends with Drew. Know
Yeah,
pretty well.
Drew has a bad
Drew
habit of
panics.
second guessing. He second guesses himself a lot. Yeah.
Panics a lot.
Nope, it's not River
so-
Chest.
No, that looks pretty small.
Yeah, he's gonna get a key here. He's doing this first because of key logic, I think.
Yeah. Oh. Crater Fairy time?
He's doing Crater Fairy. What else? I mean, it's fire shadow, isn't it?
Fire, shadow. Yeah, no, I think that's it.
Oh, Drew, please, you didn't peek. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Vanilla magic. No, Engel did not open the short. He's going shadow, though. He is going shadow. I feel like there's no circumstance in this seed right now that you would. Oh, yes, he wants to get out of here. Okay, that makes sense. I thought he was going to Iron Knuckles. I'm like, what Shadow? Oh,
Yeah.
I think Drew's gonna make the same play. Shadow's more likely at this point than Fire. I don't know what our Drew's outs at the moment.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Oh. Still a long climb down for Engel as well. Like, how nerve-wracking is this as well?
Oh, this is the worst. Literally the worst. You had one item for go mode. You did so much crap that's unrequired. You don't know where you're going. You're just kind of going somewhere and praying.
I can't wait for it to just be the mirror shield down here.
We could find an errant mirror shield. We could need a strength 3. It's either Spike, so it's either long shot, magic, or Goron tunic. We still don't have a second wallet. That's the 3 things. Magic's locked so much. It's locked letter.
Magic,
it's locked.
yeah, magic locked letter, which locked hammer. Like that's
Irons, yeah.
already huge. The long shot locked all of the wasteland area because Kokiri's sword locks Epona's.
Yeah, it locks the fortress area and then all of spirits.
Right. Yeah. Including Song of Time over there, which is why River Chest was relevant. And God, there's just so much at work here. Like,
yeah, I mean, all the early game stuff you skipped, you never those are dead. But I mean, they've pretty much done all of it anyways. Deku Shield was never in large chest now. Drew is Sarah. No, he's going River Chest. He's making the same gamble.
Unbelievable.
Back in we go.
I was gonna say, I think Engel's autopilot nearly just carried him into the next room there, and was just like, "Hold on, that's wrong."
But yeah, Strength 3, Mirror Shield are the 2 only items we don't have.
I know what Drew's saving grace is.
What is it?
You'll never find the light arrows in my castle.
Oh, I mean, yes. Because then you have Child Spirit, like everything.
A Strength 3 hunt with no hints. Just go find it.
I mean, at this point, its likeliest place is in its castle.
Yeah, it's like half the checks in the game at this point.
Yeah. Oof. I mean, they still have Deep Forest.
All the forest, plus a bunch of isolated one-off checks here and there.
Darius was the first time we got in Windmill, or no, in Lon Lon. Forest has been in Logic since literally Sphere 1. Saria's Strength, Poke, and Bow are Sphere 0.
Doubtflink? There we are.
Yeah, Forest can't have K-Sword, but it can have Strength 3 or Lights.
Right, yeah.
Well, Strength 3 in Forest could lock K-Sword, technically, because of OGC. Because Strength 2 and 4 in Fire is locked by Hammer.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, moment of truth on Engel's side. Our first, oh, that was big.
Yeah, big chest on the left side. Oh, and they're both big chests!
Oh, I only saw the right, I didn't see the left.
They're both big chests. There's your wallet.
There's the wallet.
That's Goron tunic out.
Yep, Goron tunic's gone.
The second wallet? There's like
Nice! Oh. So this is required at the very least. Engel loses no time coming here.
That's not good though.
No time compared to Drew.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, jeez.
I honestly, like I said, with the way the wind was, I think committing to Deep Shadow was always good.
I think so, but it's easy to say it now that we've seen it, although I think we also both said it at the time.
Yeah.
Right, Drew hadn't done Dragon Chest either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Of
there's 3 checks here for him, but
Yeah.
2 were keys. He had to know 2 were keys. No, 2. Wait, yes, Darkling or River had to be right. No. Both were checks. Yeah, he had 2 checks in water. Now there's Bongo. Like I said, there's Deep Fire for Strength 3 for OGC.
Yeah, Deep Fire still kind of like Strength 3 makes this scary. Because of fire, anything is on the table, but some are better than others. But the Goron Tunic's off. Does it have to be Strength 3?
It could be Mirror Shield somewhere as well.
Oh, I guess magic led to hammer, so fire is still also locked.
Yeah, he's going shadow.
And yeah, Mirror Shield would also make sense. But I think that means that the Kakiri sword has to be buried away somewhere still.
It could be Deep Fire. It could be on Bongo. Oh, Drew
Yeah.
is second guess. Yeah. He's going fire.
Oh,
This is not. No, it's not good.
no,
it's
because
not
he
good.
still needs the lights, so it doesn't
He'll-
change.
He's going
It
to lose
doesn't
time by
change
getting the
anything.
hint. He's going to lose time by getting the light or hint at this point. Over going
Oh,
shadow.
that's true, actually. Yeah.
So.
All right. So Drew's out here again. I think Engel is very advantaged here. I don't want to say ahead because we don't know.
I mean,
But-
Engel's just going to go fire after this, right? Wait,
So
where-
Drew's out is that Bongo drops a mirror shield.
He didn't pick up the keys. He's going in the whole room for a 3rd time in a seat.
Oh my god, Drew!
All right, Bongo. What do you have, Bongo?
The Kakiris! That is a race!
Yep, that's it. My god.
Oh,
Just do shadow. I mean,
that
you
is
said
of
it. There's
course
like
Yeah, no.
so much pointing towards just.
I think my exact comment at the time was, I don't think shadow is relevant, but I think you still have to do it because it's so costly to come back.
Yeah.
And
It's,
it could have been.
yeah. This is the kind of seed I would have liked as well to race. I mean, yeah, it's.
I think that's one of those situations as well, though, where a lot of it is just kind of spur of the moment, right? You could play exactly this seed tomorrow and do a different thing to what you did today. And then you could play the same seed again, you know, a month or 2 from now and do a different thing again. Like, so much of this is there's such tough decisions to make that it really could just go any way.
Yeah, and like I said, there's so much to the seed and how you had to route, and those snap decisions, again, it comes back again in Shadow. The decision to just leave, the decision to place wind, the decision to just keep going. Every little thing in this seed mattered about that.
Just imagine that Drew hadn't reset. Just got rid of the FW and Spirit and decided, that's it, Spirit's off the table.
Yeah, he could have. Was this seed better? Maybe.
Maybe! From our perspective, no. This turned into such an interesting race because of it, but for the runners, probably. Again, and this is going back to when FW was found as well. It was like, it's one of the most skill testing items, and I think this seed kind of showed why, because it led to so many interesting decision points that you just never get otherwise.
Oh yeah, his Deku. He had to buy Deku Shield. Oh, Engel. I mean, he gets to go mode Deku, which is nice. You can just go down, get done. It's still going to be sub 250, right? Yeah, probably.
Should be about 250 at the very least.
K-Sword was on Bongo Bongo. And they both bailed before the boat. Oh, I mean, like I said, in a big race, absolutely somebody would make the decision to just keep going in Shadow because it's safer. It's way safer. It's such a safe play.
Yeah. But again, it's a 1v1. You have to, you're not in a bigger race, you're like, okay, this is too costly to skip. If this was a qual, you're like, okay, if I leave here, I'm potentially losing that place to like 20, 30, 40 people. If I finish here, I lose that place to maybe 5 or 10 people. So you finish because it's consistent.
Like
in legit? A 1v1, consistency doesn't matter. You're not trying to beat 20 or 30 or 40 people. You're trying to beat one.
Yeah. And, I mean, legit, it's the seed. If you just do fire, it's simple. There's, you just get everything fulfilled right away, and then you just do your progression. Because you don't even need the strength 2. Like, you need nothing.
Then what did we end up with? Zora's domain to Morpha was for bombs that locked. Although it was for irons. It was just for iron boots as well.
It was both, yeah, but it is for both in practical sense.
Bottom of the well to Goma was everything. No, it was magic more than anything else.
Yes. It has
Shadow to
magic.
Volve was letter and hovers?
No, it is not hover. Yeah, so hovers are path as well as is letter. I mean,
Agrika King Dodongo was a scale.
I mean, obviously, like it's just one item, but like it could be pointing to either, and you can't really tell.
We have no idea from our perspective, but both of them were on the path to Volve. And then Market to Baronator's Dins. And that was the one that really kicked off just how kind of wild this seed got, I think. The early ones were like, okay, Cactus Donongo, it's a scale for a bomb bag, woo! But that Market to Baronade Dins was the real kicker in the seed that set everything off.
Oh, absolutely. And I just don't know what to say of the seed. Like there was literally everything you could want in a 1v1 race.
Yeah, no, it's
oh no!
Oh, it's a big chest as well. Strength 3.
Oh my god! Don't even. It's gonna be Mirror Shield of Strength 3 or the other wallet. It's the other wallet. Oh.
Hate this game.
Yeah, I mean, Drew at this point is probably not feeling too great.
In a way, I feel like, this isn't even a seed you can be particularly mad at. They went back and forth on it, and it was... They basically made all the same decisions. Pretty much all the same calls, just little differences here and there, tiny differences. But,
and then I mean the big one was definitely when Drew went to GTG. It split them apart pretty well. Yeah. You had a clear Engel who had more progression done, and then it was like, oh, the gap is closing, and then when the gap like fully closed, it was anybody's game again basically. Because
there were like a couple of little advantages on Engel's side as well, being able to skip Adult Lake because he did it later and had the logic pointing it. Being able to skip Frogs 1 by getting the hint before doing it.
Skipping Frogs 1 is a bit of a greedy play, especially since it could have still been the scale, but at that point, I mean, domain is path, so just getting the bomb bag there, you kind of know. Also, sick trick by Drew here that nobody really.
Oh.
Oh.
I was gonna say nobody. I've not seen this one, but appreciate the effort on it.
That's a Drooness special. Love that guy. Not the failing, of course. It's the cool, witty trick that nobody really knows. He's gonna go for it again.
Oh! I thought that was it. Again, you know, at this point, we know the race is gone. Drew's getting the stream value. That's the real incentive here. We got the triple volve.
Yeah.
Triple volve room, I guess.
Oof. Chap temple. Oh. Come on, Drew. You got this. Oh, no.
I appreciate the effort.
Obviously, for him, the race still matters, so he can't just be like...
Yeah, he has no idea if Engel just isolated something and is off hunting a dungeon behind at this stage.
We're all saying about, oh, you should have just done Shadow, but how many people would have isolated that boomerang this seed? Like, that's another one that's super, super easy to isolate unhinted. It would have happened.
There were so many calls.
But with where the save warp was and having to do lens game, yeah, you probably end up doing it, but some people just don't want to do that check and they're gonna skip it. That's all I can say.
Just quickly, I was about to comment on the bracket as well, and obviously we'll talk to them about it when they're in here. But for those of you who didn't see the race earlier today, the winner of this one plays the winner of that one, so we will end up spoiling that race if people wanted to avoid that.
Wait, who played today? Just
Exodus versus Chuckles.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because there was also Flush and Tanjo that was on the French restream. And many, 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 many more races tomorrow.
Oh.
Who's ready? Engel done with phase 1. Only got phase 2. He's going to barely get that sub 250, which is honestly pretty good with how much of a mishmash the seed was. My race is on Wednesday, the 11th of January.
Am I free on Wednesday? I think I am.
Yeah, you've already put up your name for comms.
Oh, good. Perfect. Cool. I was about to go check.
That's a good question, Tudos.
When are you teaching me DK64 Rando?
That's a good... Oh. Alright. Engel is gonna slash Ganon for the final stab. Barely get the sub 250. That's a GG.
Yeah. 249.58. The sub 250 almost perfectly. And just in time for Drew to see the light arrows. Perfect.
Wow.
And welcome.
Yeah, both Drew and Engel. GG's to both of you.
GG.
Oh. This was literally...
Wow.
Stuff we've never seen before, honestly. Like, not in terms of, like, item placement, but of, like, everything that happened. Like, the culmination of everything was just, like, insane.
It was weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
that was a pretty unbelievable race in a lot of ways. The hints were chaotic. I guess that's a good place to start. none of the hints felt direct. Everyone had to lead you through 3 other items before it finally told you what it was pointing to.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting like multiple things in the well and then multiple things in shadow. You're like,
I mean,
but what do you want, game?
I think the biggest contention point of the seed is like decision based on immediate reactions. Like you had like a lot of situations this seed where you get something and you have to make an instant decision on something. Do you place your wind in shadow? Do you keep going? Do you just don't place it because it can stranglehold you of not placing it anywhere else? You also had the in fire, like the strength 2. Do you like, oh, there's a big chest, but strength 2 is good. Especially with Drew there, where he did something.
I don't choose between the two. I choose both.
So for context on that one, so Drew's Feroz Wind was in spirit, and that's really valuable. So
yeah, I mean,
Drew saved, set FW in fire, beat Volvagia, FW'd back up, got the next chest that was the Stone of Agony, checked the Light Arrow cutscene, and then reset, beat Volvagia again, and FW to spirit.
And
I don't blame that. That's
I think we've kind of measured out that just climbing fires a bit faster, but that's just like,
I think that stupid chest in fire like screwed me up a ton too, because I had the Pharaohs in the back of shadow, but I'm like, but big chest, I need to like see what this is. I guess we're moving the FW.
Yeah, it was like spirit, but like a big chest is a big chest.
Exactly. I'm like, I need to see what this is.
And then, of course, having to go back into Volv's room later for the key when you did Deep Fire.
Yeah, I went in there 3 times. It felt very good.
So obviously, I think one of the things that did come out with this, with those hints, was the logic. And in particular, Engel, on your side, you got to skip Adult Lake, in particular, was a big one. Which, Drew, you'd done earlier before all of the logic kind of fell through. But, yeah, how much, I guess, for both of you, how much were you following the logic? How much were you seeing, like, it could be the Goron tunic and the long shot and the magic, and how much was there even to rule out by the end?
Not much to rule out, to be honest, because like you said, the well was magic, tunic, and long shot. So, and then like you get, I guess we both stopped obviously at the same point in shadow, so we both had hovers and letter and gold scale. And then it's like, well, try Jabu and water. It's not these.
And then you
Ice
did water
hammer as well.
but
and then Ice has hammer.
Yeah, and then your water play was like, okay, that's kind of risky because you still have 3 checks you can't do, and then like that cost you a lot of time in the end, just like going to water with just gold scale.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of waffled on whether I should do it, but I was like, well, I can do like the Lost Woods bombables I didn't do yet in Southfield into it. I was like, that's fine. I have like 70% chance of getting out of water, okay, right?
But another thing I do want to mention, why are you both allergic to chews? You peek the few freestanding chews, and it's like...
You have no idea how much I was regretting that in Water Temple. And I'm like, there's one more check I can't do.
Yeah, there were a couple times I was like, oh, shoot, I should have picked it up.
I felt stupid in water, like, I can't do the dragon chest.
There was a point, Drew, where you went to Valley and you ended up on the ledge, and it's like, okay, you're resetting those away. That makes sense. But the big one was the lake, the child lake dive item. And it's just, it's right there.
Yeah, I have this thing where like I see them and I'm like, I don't need those. I have a bomb bag. And then like later on, it's like, oh man, I could really use chews right now.
Yep. Even if you have a bomb bag, like just picking up those chews, the time you have to wait for bombs most of the time to explode, just like using 2 chews saves you the time of picking them up, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your Volv would have been your second Volv would have been faster. What else? I'm trying to think.
The only other big thing with the logic, obviously, we've mentioned. Oh, it could have been the Goron tunic in Bottom of the Well. At that point, neither of you had a wallet.
Yeah, thanks Shadow for having the wallet as well.
And
Dude, did you see
deep
what the
fire.
other
Yeah, I saw you get the other one. Thanks, game. Way to not rule those out.
Yeah, like okay, I was at the end there. I was going to Shadow, and then I was like, I'm going here because this makes like the most sense, and like I feel dumb for skipping it or whatever. And then I was like, wait, but if it's here, then I lose. So let's go to Fire instead, because I was down to the 2 decisions. Like it was either going to be in Fire or it was going to be in Shadow.
Well,
and
so this is the thing I wanted to bring up: is did either of you consider at any point going back to Forest? Because we were talking about how, yeah, you have all these items pointing to Goma, but one of them is the tunic pointing to Strength. What if you just find Strength 3 somewhere else and it's outside Ganon's?
Oh,
I ain't going back into Forest Temple when that's I lose if it's
Very
there.
fair. Very fair.
yeah, I was not feeling Forest.
I mean, neither of you checked Valley Waterfall too, so.
I was already at the. I knew it wasn't. Well, I guess if it's golds, it could have been gold gauntlets there, but otherwise, I was like, it's nothing there.
Yeah, I went for like the recoil off of the from the box, and I went too early, and as soon as I fell in the water, I was like, nothing's there. I can't think about that at all. And then later on, it became clear that probably nothing was there unless it was like strength
Mirror
3.
Shield, Strength 3, yeah. Those are like the only 2 ambiguous items at the end.
Were any Mirror Shield checks actually in Logic?
I think I saw 4 keys in Adult Spirit. Okay, so I don't know if the mirror one would have been the 5th or if it was on Child side.
It had to be Child Spirit.
It had to be Child. Yeah, okay. So I think like the top was out of Logic.
The mirror one would have been either, I think, could have been a key, right? But it would have been either a check or a key. And either way, it's one. Well,
yeah.
Either way, it's checks, but not many.
Yeah.
Also, Sponge asking in chat, Engel, did you consider getting rid of the furrows in Shadow to leave it in water when you first went there?
Not in water. No, I didn't want to move it out of Shadow, really, because of the fear that the back might still have stuff. But again, it was just that stupid big chest in Fire where I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. But then
maybe I should have done what Drew did and like scummed the
I
back.
wouldn't recommend it. Like, as I'm like fighting Volv, I'm like, okay, it's been 2 minutes. Okay, now it's been 3 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Well, it definitely would have been faster to just climb all the way back up.
I guess maybe I should have just left it in Shadow and climbed. Yeah, I don't know.
Or I mean, somebody brought it up earlier. I think like, did FW legitimately like? Obviously, like it's a really good item, but like overall, like I think it cost both of you a lot of time.
No FW.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I think without FW, I might have just finished Shadow while I was there.
Because I'm thinking, yeah, because like obviously, like I think full clearing Shadow is not a bad play either once you're there. Because
I thought that too, Riley, but I was like, man, the boat ride sucks. Fighting Bongo, like they're so slow. I have Feyrors. I have progression dungeons now that I can go to. Let's just put the Feyrors and come back if the dungeons don't give me stuff.
Right.
It's easy and then fire happens.
It's easy to think that, but as it was also mentioned, like, yeah, but you know the Feroz is there, but it's still the boat ride on the other side.
We had so many conversations about it, and I guess question for both of you on that front: if this is a qual, do you finish Shadow there?
I mean,
yeah.
I
mean, you lose like what, like 15 points, maybe 10 points. I don't know. It's not that bad.
There's just so much pointing towards Shadow, like so it's like But then it could be that item that just like chains. So like if you do progression, you could just like get everything, but then it wasn't everything, and then it's like, oh god.
But it's like, oh, it could be Shadow, but then it could be Jabu, but then it could be Ice, and then if Hammer's in there, it could be Fire, and then it's like, okay, well, like literally all these things happened, and then like it's like, okay, well now it can be like any of these.
We have Longshot and Silvers, so like clearly GTG and Spirits to play.
Yeah, at that point I had already cleared GTG.
I hadn't, but I was like, and then I see the stupid big chest in the center of GTG. Like, come on.
Because we were thinking
we
maybe
do everything in there.
Yeah, because there's a point where we were thinking, okay, Engel might feel behind and just go in GTG, peek the center. If he sees nothing, he could leave. But like, obviously, you see the big chest.
Obviously, yeah, I see it, and I'm like, well,
because there was a point. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the thing with Shadow as well is like, it's so unlikely at that point that your items are in Shadow because, like you're saying, there's so many other things available. But when are you going back? And all it ended up doing was kind of choking Furor's win for the entire seed.
I mean, the thing with me is having Furor's didn't matter in that decision, obviously, because like I didn't place it there. So like it's, I don't know if not having Furor's would have helped me there.
Yeah, because you're pretty
in that moment, like I had already done GTG, I had crossed the Spirit, like nothing paid off, and I was like, I just need to go fast right now. And like once I found the letter, I was like, oh, do I bail on that? And then once I found the scale, I was like, okay, I bailed like 100%.
Yeah.
At that point,
was a
like
decision from you as well.
I beat Jabu, and then I was like, I could cross to water, but there's only like 4 checks there. Whereas I could go to Ice, I'm guaranteed a song that will get me to water faster, and there might be items in Ice. Like if I pair up Ice and water, it's twice as many checks.
Also,
so
I don't know if you thought about it, but if Epona was in Ice, that definitely rules out GTG and that portion as well, because then Longshot is not needed, right? For that logic.
That's part of why I did it before GTG as well, because I was like, maybe Epona's just there, and then like Longshot's nothing, or it's water. It goes back to, I think what we were saying, it's really tough. Like in a qual, you're like, okay, just beat the back of Shadow. I lose 5 minutes at worst, and losing 5 minutes in a qual is whatever. Losing 5 minutes in a 1v1 is like the race potentially.
Yeah.
In a qual, you're trying to beat as many people as you can, and you're consistent. In a 1v1, you only have to beat whatever the other person does. They might do the same. They did today, so...
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a different opponent for both of you, and you just get smoked by 30 minutes. But this is this is 1v1 world.
We do know who your next opponents will be as well, though.
Yeah, because they played earlier today.
Yep.
So, Engel, you will get Exodus, and Drew, you get Chuckles.
Nice. Chuckles is a cool dude, and I'm happy to dodge Exodus, honestly. Not because, like, one of them is, like, decidedly worse than the other, but I faced Exodus, I think, last season, like season 5, and I faced him in, like, beta quests, and I'm just tired of this guy knocking me out of brackets.
I mean, he's the 3rd seed for a reason. He won the online SGL tournament for a reason. Like, I have my work cut out for me to try and win that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think Exodus might be one of the like he's so like
he's
quiet,
consistent,
and he's also so quiet and like so undertoned that you sometimes forget how fucking insane he is.
Yeah.
Quiet favorite, potentially.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's just like, okay, well, I'm going to show up and
the whole
dominate.
Team, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, but that's going to be a tough matchup for sure.
Makes it all the better if you bring him down, right? That's how it works.
I mean, it'll take some luck there, but we'll try.
But yeah, other than that, I think that's it, unless you guys have anything else that you want to add. But the seed.
Yeah, fuck Shadow Boat. That's it.
And Majarkin from Rolling Seeds, thank you.
Fuck Majarkin, yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, that baseball, you can take the floor from here.
Awesome. Okay. I will wrap us up now. First of all, thank you to our runners, Drooness and Engel, for putting on probably the best race I've seen so far this season. So thank you for that. And thank you to our commentators, Riley and Yoshi. That was really great commentary. And thank you to Fencer for tracking with me today. So there's a bunch of races tomorrow. Not all of them will be restreamed by ZSR. Make sure you check out the OoTR S6 schedule for all of the restreams, French and English. The ones that will be on ZSR tomorrow are One Shot versus Kirox. That is at 11:20 a.m. Eastern. And then we'll also have J-Bone versus GSK8 at 3:20 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, make sure you keep an eye on the schedule. There's a ton of races all the time. Okay. That pretty much is all I have to say. We're going to be raiding over to Just Sam, who is in top 64 and is currently doing a practice race for season 6. And he's also on the French Restream team this year. So yeah, hope you enjoy that. And thank you so much, all of you, for watching tonight. And I hope I see you tomorrow. Thank you.